Well, welcome everybody to our latest session of the Restoration of Cariele. As usual, we'll do a quick recap of what occurred last week, and then we will get started. So, team, you'll likely recall when we picked up last week, you were underground in this tomb area, whatever this location might actually be. You guys had sort of made your way through the central area here and started making your way to the east. You had heard the sound of footsteps somewhat nearby. I believe in the very beginning, though, you guys were kind of scoping things out, and I believe it was Tavern that made his way over to the west. Once he made his way over to the west, he was assailed from the north, shot several times. Baron was nearby him during this time, and once Tavern went down, Baron threw some magic on him, Sanctuary, to try to protect him. The team managed to heal Tavern. Tavern was able to get out of the way there, and the team decided to retreat back and get a little bit of a breather. So team made their way back out of this tomb area back to the basement, left the basement, found themselves back up in the Yellow Goblet, and filled Jadrian, the proprietor of the Yellow Goblet, on what occurred down below, letting her know that there was certainly some strange location down below and these creatures and so on. The team then also asked Jadrian if she knew anything about this location, if she could shine any light on this whole situation. She threw out the name of a gentleman in Rendale named Wilcox, who was an older fellow and a bit of a historian, might be able to shed some light on things, that the questions the team might have. So after the team had like a drink and a bit to eat and did a bit of a rest, they made their way out into the town proper and eventually tracked down this Wilcox, whose home was nearby the arms and armor shop of Rendale. Speaking with Wilcox was Saline, who kind of got shoved up to the front there to do the talking. Wilcox seemed to be a pretty amiable fellow, and he was willing to share the information that he had. Predominantly what he mentioned is that when Rendale was first formed, it was actually formed in the shadow of the large hills that are just to the northwest, and that over time the town has sort of expanded. It's gotten closer and closer to the river. Early on in the formation of the town, there were a couple of voices, the most prominent among them being a fellow by the name of Helmead, who said he did not want the town to go all the way up to the river. He advised the town to sort of expand in the other directions. The town ultimately did not listen to that, and eventually Helmead just kind of vanished. And over time, the town, of course, continued to grow and is nearly up to the river at this point. There is still some space, but you got the impression that it's more or less it is like a visual great piece of property that Ryan owns there that is most of the river line, and not that it's just, open for building and so forth. But so this had some questions for you guys as far as, this Helmead, the name you had heard once before, which was down in the tomb area where you had spoken or heard this voice through a door, spoken to it, and it named itself Helmead. So again, putting two and two together, there is clearly something going on strange, because according to Wilcox, when Wilcox himself was a boy, and for reference, Wilcox might be 60s or 70s, hard to tell exactly, he had mentioned that Helmead at that time was an old man, and so obviously this would be quite a long time. Helmead would be over 100 years old at this point. The interesting part is when you guys were down below and eventually then did meet Helmead, he did not detect as undead to Blixel's ability, but who knows whether it's him or not. So after that conversation was done, the team then decided to make their way back to the Yellow Goblet, head back downstairs to the tomb, with the assumption that Var was still down below. Once the team made their way back down below and started making their way through the chamber and started turning to the east, there was a couple stragglers, and I believe Baron, and I forget who else was in the back there, may have also been Vin, the two that need torches. Helmead actually opened the door of this little room and came out and was next to Baron at that point. The team was a bit surprised to see Helmead here. He did indeed look like an old man, and he spoke with the team briefly and mentioned that he had duties he had to take care of here. And there was questions about the creatures in the tomb. Helmead explained that there are no creatures in the tomb, only what your fear brings, you bring with you with your fear into the tomb. The question was also asked about if Helmid had seen Var. He said he had heard a man's voice. A man tried to communicate through the door with him, but the man did not seem to be wanting to make an offering to the night mistress, and so they didn't really have much more to talk about. So Helmid supposed that Var had passed by the area and to the north, but he wasn't sure where he might be at this point. So with that, the team had a couple other minor questions for Helmid, but kind of let him go on his way. He made his way up to the north, up to the elevated area, and seemed to do this sort of almost like a ritual as he reached his hand out and touched the two alcoves in the northern area here. And then when he was done, he made his way back to the south and back into his room. The team briefly kind of looked there and see if they could spot anything, but there didn't seem to be anything obvious that was noticeable. Team then made their way to the east and found two doors. Apparently from the outside, it looked to be like two medium-sized chambers on either side. We had Serena by one of them and Tavard by the other. Tavard was able to listen and hear the sound of breathing come from the other side of the door. The team then spoke up, and it determined that it was indeed Var on the other side of the door. They tried to suggest to him that Ryance wanted to see Var and that they were to collect Var. Var said that he would make his way up and he would be there shortly, but he was a little bit nervous hearing the number of voices outside of the door. He didn't necessarily trust you all to just kind of make his way out. With that in mind, the team tried to threaten him and coax him to come out, saying that he only really had two choices, which was either to come willingly or come beaten and bloodied kind of a deal. And when he didn't agree to that, the team then tried to break the door down using Shipwrecker. Unfortunately, we had a sad series of rolls in that occurrence, and the door held pretty firm. We also had Blixel casting some dissonant whispers through the door, clearly injuring Var, wounding him, but he's obviously still up and still bracing against the door with his body. All this sound and commotion has attracted these creatures, these skeletal creatures. They look like humanoid skeletons. They're purplish in color and have purple energy floating through their chest cavity and seem to be spellcasters as they're shooting these rays of force and seem to be popping in and out of existence as the team has just spotted them. So just as the session ended, our player characters made their way east into this small room to try to sort of like break line of sight with the creatures. That is not completely done, however, and that is where we left off. So team, that's my quick recap. Does anybody have anything they'd like to add that I missed?
Yeah, I can think of several things. I want to let the other guys Yeah, you missed a whole lot. This is great, guys. Come on, time in. But I'll say what's particular to me. I gave a 5 gold piece offering to Helmid, and he said the Lady of the Night sees me. So that's special.
He did indeed, and actually did a little bit of a ritual on Baird, in fact. So interesting little tidbit. Yes, good addition. Go and take inspiration there, Baird.
I'm going to mention the conversation I had with Wilcox while Saline was sitting there after she finished going through. And there was a couple things mentioned in that conversation we could get inspiration for too, I think. But Wilcox mentioned that because I asked him about Intier, our uncle, and if he had any part of orchestrating what had happened, and he said no. He said Intier was a bit of a doofus. He was more conveniently placed in that spot, so it kind of narrows our investigation a little bit into the guilds and less into our family.
Indeed, I believe the word he used was fop as opposed to doofus, but same general idea. So yeah, good addition there. Go ahead and take inspiration, Vin.
Doofus, fop, you know.
All right, anybody else?
This might not count because I can't remember the full name, but Vin knew who the goddess was that we were making an offering to. It was like El something.
Eloile.
Eloile. And that was the whatever god or whatever Helmid was worshiping down here.
Yes, indeed. It seemed as though Helmid referred to her as the Night Mistress, and perhaps also interestingly, as Ven shed some light, that Eloile is not necessarily associated with necromancy. So all these undead creatures, it seemed a little bit of disconnect. But yeah, good addition. Go and take inspiration, Blixel.
Since no one's going to mention it, our mom is still alive. I know I already got inspiration, but that was a big one for me. It like blew me out of my seat. I was like, that was a big one.
Well, and just as a quick clarification there, you asked Wilcox what his opinion was, and he was dancing about his words very, very carefully. And he said if, push come to shove, he would guess that she's still there. And when he said there, you got the impression he meant at the Capitol.
Carolinian.
And on this subject, noteworthy to remember, this is the first person we've disclosed quite pointedly who we are.
Yes, indeed. Open bag, let cat out of it. Yes. All right. Well, if there is nothing else, folks, we will go ahead and get started. So let me go ahead and dish out everybody a card. All right. Take a moment to review your card.
And just a reminder, Blixel is Sanctuary. That's the last thing I did last session.
Okay. All right. So as we start this session, let's go ahead and get everybody on screen. Serena's player's not with us tonight until we get to a point of safety. Do I have a volunteer to control Serena?
Sure. I can do it.
Okay, excellent. Let me make sure you have access to her sheet.
She'll get mad at me the least if she dies.
Or the most. It's going to go one way or the other. All right, you should now have access to Serena's sheet there, Blixel. Okay, and of course we left off in the middle of a high up-tempo combat, so let's go ahead and jump right back into the thick of things. And we are at the top of the round with Blixel.
Okay. So Blixel is extremely hurt. And I have a question about a spell.
Okay, sure.
It doesn't say you have to see it for silent image.
Silent image, okay. And give me an idea of what you're trying to do with silent image.
I was going to try to... well, first Blixel was going to be like, Var, all these bad creatures are coming out here. Come on, I promise you we won't hurt you. Come with us. And then cast Silent Image to create that like undead guy we saw outside with the cat inside the room with Var.
All right, so you're right that it doesn't say that you have to be able to see it, but because the way that it's worded, I'm going to say you have to say specifically where it manifests. So basically, go ahead and use your pointer and say, I want it to be centered here, and that would be the center of the cube. If that means the cube is inside of some kind of a physical object, then it might auto-fail, right? Because it wouldn't make any sense for it to be there, so it'd be super obvious that it's an illusion. Or if you put it inside of like a wall or something like that, right? Then that likely will not work.
Okay. Yeah, I'm willing to risk it just to try something, different. So I would put it basically within 10 feet of the door, so he thinks that it's like approaching him.
So you're wanting the center to be in this blanked out square that you can't see.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and burn that spell slot. Okay. You cast this spell and you are concentrating on it. Is there anything else that you would like to do?
And that doesn't break Sanctuary, right? Just casting a spell.
I think. Let me double check Sanctuary.
I think Sanctuary is specific in attacking.
Yeah, that's what I thought
not
too.
not just attacking, but harming for a saving throw. Fireball would break Sanctuary, for example.
It says cast a spell that affects an enemy. So this spell potentially could affect an enemy.
Just not yet.
So what I will say is you don't know if Sanctuary's still up or not.
All right. Well, I'll shut the door,
All right.
and then I'll run over here, and I guess I'll end my turn. And
Oh,
I'll say like, I hope it worked, guys. I made a spooky creature in his room, I think.
okay. Yes. So with the door closed, your sense of what is happening out here is pretty limited. Yeah. All right, I will say you hear this. So all you did was shut the door. So it's not locked or barred or anything like that. So, okay, so you will see. All right, just checking movement. All right, you will see the door open. And standing in the doorway is a skeletal figure with the purplish energy inside. Seeing that Bairn is next to it right there, it is going to go ahead and blast Bairn. Bairn, you notice it puts its finger up and these two fiery rays flash out at you, smashing into you for 5 points of force damage. Okay, and after that occurs, you notice the creature is still there. Okay, you will hear a bit of a screech and a sound as you notice the door from across the way actually opens.
It worked.
And you will see a man step out and start booking it. As he does so, you will notice the skeleton, who, in addition to having a handful of magic, also has a long sword in his hand. He is going to slash out at Var as Var tries to flee.
Get him, skeleton.
Var is able to avoid that.
Built, guild, tough.
Okay, Saileen's turn.
Alright, which way does the door open?
So in my
order.
head, visually, the way I've been considering it this whole time is that the door would now be something like. Oh, you can't see that. Let me make sure I got that broadcasting. The door would be something like that at this point, so it kind of swings open to this point. So it opens from the south to the north, if that makes sense.
Okay. Well, we do kind of need to catch up to him, but there's a skeleton in our way. And I don't think Saline is strong enough to muscle him out of the way. So I'm going to attempt to firebolt him and see what happens. Hopefully the core doesn't explode, dealing 8d6 force damage to everybody. That would be bad. Where the fuck? Before that, I'm going to step up one space to get a clearer shot instead of shooting past Baron and burning his hair off.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Good idea. So, firebolt here.
Yes, the firebolt will indeed connect with the creature, burning it.
Okay, not too bad. And then I will step 5, 10 here to try to get the angle better, so I'm not taking a million shots. End turn.
Okay, Vin.
Can you explain to me tumble or shove one more time, Adam, before I do my turn?
Tumble or shove. Okay, so shove would be an action. It's athletics to push the creature either prone or push them 5 feet away. In this scenario, you'd only be able to push it to the west. There is also a push aside that's made at disadvantage. That allows you to push them in a different direction than just straight away from you. Tumble is an acrobatics check, and if you succeed, you can move through the specific creature's square once on your turn as an action or bonus action.
Okay. So Vin's going to yell, I'll try to shove by and catch Var. Meet me down there. And he's going to attempt the... Shit. Sorry. That firebolt did a good amount of damage too. Alright, no, I'm going to stick with my plan because we got a lot of people behind me in the action economy. So he's going to move through here and try to tumble through him, Adam, if he can.
All right, so go ahead and give me an acrobatics check. You can make that publicly.
Okay, and then I will like to use my inspiration on the acrobatics, please.
All right, we'll give you advantage on that then.
Also, I had Bless checked. Who has Bless?
Bless. I got hit on the last turn of the combat, and I lost concentration, so Bless is gone.
Okay, it wouldn't matter, but still, I just want to be sure. Let me click inspiration.
Okay, so go ahead and throw an athletics check, and we're going to give you an 8 as your other roll. So go ahead and post, acrobatics. Okay, so you got an 8 or a 13 when we take the 8 plus your 5 acrobatics modifier. Unfortunately, that does not beat the skeleton's static check. So no, you are not able to tumble through him. He essentially blocks your way as you attempt to do that. Now, did you want to do that as your action or bonus action?
That'll be my bonus action. And then as my action, as he blocks me, I'll have my shoulder against him and I'll pull my dagger from my sheath under my armpit and try to stab him quickly into the chest. See if I can get him.
Okay. You stab forth, but your blade goes through the bones of his rib cage and does not connect.
All right. While it's in there, then I'm just gonna try to turn the blade and go upwards and see if I can get him again, because I got an extra attack with Dagger Master.
You wiggle the dagger around in there, but it doesn't seem effective.
We've all been there, lads.
Well, I will pull back because I think he's already used his opportunity, and I'll move to here and end my turn.
Okay, Cerilia.
Okay, so Serena is going to rush up and try to shove the skeleton out of the way.
Okay, athletics check. You can make that public.
Oof.
Unable to shove the skeleton.
Just beat his ass. Gosh.
Yeah,
that is an action for shove, so that is your action.
Yeah, pull. Okay. I don't know if she has a bonus action to use. So, actually, yeah. Yep, I think that might be it for her. I guess I'll move out of the way. Move to there.
Okay, Tabard.
Bunch of y'all missing and everything. I'm glad I never miss.
Well, now that you say that.
Oh, I always miss. That's why.
I feel like Libby's bad luck worked on me for that.
All right, so Tavern's gonna go ahead and say, "Forget all this movement stuff. I'm moving my warhammer. Now that I got my Papa's warhammer back."
My Papa's warhammer.
All right, you smash down. The 21 without blast will indeed hit. You notice that this creature is particularly susceptible to this damage, and it explodes upon the impact of the bones.
Nice.
How much damage does it do?
22 points of damage.
I meant the explosion.
Oh, no, it explodes. It does none to you guys.
Okay.
We got to get Var.
He went down south.
All right, and Adam, with using my other bonus action, I'm going to go ahead and punch this thing.
Okay.
Oh, actually, I can go ahead and well, I'm just going to punch it. Doesn't matter. So. Now I can use flurry of blows, right? That would be 2 attacks on with the punching.
It would be. Yep, that would take a point of key.
Yeah, I'm just looking for that. I'll go ahead and use key. I forgot you had it built in.
All right, so you spend a point of key. Go ahead and make 2 unarmed attacks. That one will hit. And then a miss. All right, go ahead and post damage. You smash into that one and see that it's very damaged by that, but it's still intact.
And then I'm gonna yell it out to the party. There's another one up here. You guys can go ahead and run away like wussies. And I'll end my turn.
Okay, before Baron's turn, you'll hear a slight popping sound, Tavern, as you notice one of these creatures suddenly just manifests out of nowhere. As it does, it points its finger towards you and blasts out 2 rays of force, which smack into you for 6 points of damage. Okay, then it's Baron's turn.
The door's open. Varn ran south. I'm going to set up. I'm not going to take the risk to take a step further into the hallway because I could see the one in front of Tavard pretty clearly. I'm going to EB that guy.
Okay. Yes, that does indeed connect. Damaging the creature badly, but it is still intact.
That's 4 for bludgeoning if you're keeping track at home. Okay, so 5, 10. Okay, I'll go 30 to there. That's my action. And I don't see him. I don't see where he went. I'm assuming he went south. Oh, crap. Okay.
I think so, right? We saw him go southwise, right?
Good question. Next up is the one just next to you, Tavern. Similarly, it points its finger at you, blasting you with 2 rays of force for 7 points of force damage. And then last but not least, another popping sound as another one of these creatures appears.
I miscounted. Yeah.
And points towards you, Tavern, firing off 2 more rays of force for 8 points of damage.
Sorry, guys, I'm down.
Tavern drops to the ground, and we move to Blixel's turn.
Okay. I was going to chase, but let's see.
I'll blame Brian for not doing as much damage to the other one. It's his fault for that.
Yeah, that was a really wimpy one, wasn't it?
Blixel will run up here.
So just for fun, as you step out, you do notice your weird, strange image in the other room, kind of like jilting as it's centered in this area, but like partially in the wall, partially in the sarcophaguses. Yeah, it's definitely a weird one there, but yes, continue your turn.
I got to work on that spell a little bit. All right. And he will rush up here, and I'm going to do my Bloodline ability, Cure Wounds, on Tavern.
Okay. Yeah,
Nice.
now I'm trying to remember, because I remember you used it, and then the card came up and it gave it to you back. And I thought you used it again. Do you still have another usage?
I think so. I have it marked off. I get it back after a short rest, so I think.
Oh, okay. So that's probably why. You guys went up, did your short rest in the end. Okay. All right. Well, we will trust whatever the mechanics say there.
It's not like you have to track 30, 40 things a game or anything.
Not at all, no. All right, so
Yeah.
that is saying all slots expended. So was that clicked as a spell, or was that clicked as the bloodline version?
I just clicked the thing in the middle, and then took it off the counter over here because there's no clickable button on the one. Oh, actually, there is 2 of them on here, huh? Yeah, I mean it does it the same way, I think. Oh, okay. Okay. So what I did is I clicked the middle one and then I took the counter down to 0. So that's why it says out of ammo now.
Okay.
Do you want
perfect.
me? Do you want to take the first 5? I don't have any spell slots anyway, so I was just doing it as a bloodline. But
Yeah, and that's still based off charisma. So yeah, we'll take that first 5, and yeah, we know you are out of that spell now.
okay, cool. And then I don't have a bonus action, I don't think. Yep, nope. Okay, so that's it for me. I'm just going to stand here and hopefully I don't get hit.
Sorry, man. Didn't mean to bring you into the forefront there.
Okay, before Celine's turn. Okay, Celine, your turn.
All right. Vin, are we going after?
I'm gonna chase him down. My knives don't work much against these stupid skeletons, but they'll work on him.
Okay. So I will start moving then, because I think this is a tactical retreat sort of situation, because we got to catch up to the guy. So I'm gonna go 5, 10, 15. Is that the injured guy next to Tavern? I can't see
Sure
a help.
is.
Okay. I want to see how greedy I can be.
I definitely think we should try to kill at least one of these things because they're going to take both of us down.
Have
Well,
Inspector
you're
flashback
sanctuaried
sword.
still. So yeah, I can't barely see. I can't see the health bar, so I assume he's almost dead. So what I'm gonna do, I have 2 first level spell slots left. So I'm going to use magic missile here and aim 1 at the almost dead guy and 2 at this guy.
Become
Okay.
my hero, man. Become my hero.
The almost dead guy instantly is destroyed. And then go ahead and post, and I will take damage off the other one.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay,
Nice.
so that'll be
Nice.
10 points of damage.
And this room is open now, and he didn't close the door behind him, so I am going to. So that was my action, so I can't dash.
You see my weird illusion in there.
Indeed.
Yeah, but I know he did that, so
Yeah, he did say he's trying something spooky.
yeah, I'll go in there anyway, because I think Celine's smart enough to put 2 and 2 together based on context. So I'm gonna go 10 more and then 15 around the corner to break LOS.
All right, as you do so, you notice that there is a dagger on the ground close to the southern sarcophagus that's kind of, it looks almost like it was haphazardly discarded.
Interesting. Does it look like a cool dagger, or is it just like a normal dagger?
On a glance, it just looks like a normal dagger.
Yeah.
Okay, Vin.
At the start of Vin's turn, because he said he was gonna chase him down, I will play my card.
Ooh. Gives me locate creature permanently from now on.
If
Nice. Okay, so targeted creature's speed is increased by 30 feet until the end of their turn.
Wow.
Nice. So that would make my movement speed 60 then. So if I
Yes.
also dash, then that would be 120.
Yep. And if you cunning action as well.
Be 180. Holy cannoli.
And if you use, some sort of dimension door, just
Alright, so Vin's going to kind of squat down, and then he kind of feels this wave come over him, and he he smiles a little bit to himself, and he kind of feels at home within this just knowing that it's Eloy lays, I think he feels a little emboldened. So he runs out. That's 15, and he sees his torch. And Adam, can I interact with object and pick this up as I run by it?
Sure.
It's 35. I'm gonna hit light torch on me, so I have the light. Then we're gonna go to here, which would be 60 for his full movement speed. Doesn't see Var, so he's going to dash down to here. That's 20. Doesn't see him. There's 20 more. Since I'm out of view, I'm no longer going to give play-by-play. Okay, Adam, I'm going to cunning action. Dash again.
All right, Serena's turn.
Okay, so Serena will rush out with her big pole arm.
For sure. We need to kill these guys.
She says she only hits. Let me just say, that's what I want right now.
And she's going to swing at this one.
All right, yeah, let's see it. No blast, so 7 will miss.
Okay, but she doesn't need a hit for Pam.
She does not, but that will
Oh
also
my
miss.
god.
Bad rolls tonight so far.
I swear, she's rubbing off on me, on this character. And I guess she will move her last movement and just go here. And that's it.
Okay, Tavard.
All right, I'm going to stand up.
Okay.
Knowing that it's probably best to get these guys down because they'll potentially hunt us down, I'm going to go ahead and Warhammer this guy.
That will miss.
I'm going to go ahead and hero point that at him.
Sure, yeah, go ahead and throw a hero point. That will hit.
It'll work though.
Woof. Demolishing him with one swing. He is destroyed.
That's for those blasts, you dumb turd. All right, and then shoot, they're engaged. So it's I have 40 movement speed, so that'll be 20, 10. I only have 10 more. All right, I'm just gonna come. I'm gonna just go there, just to do it. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else I can do. There's nothing. Okay, all right.
Okay, we've got 1 Tavard, 2 Serena, 3 Blixel. 3 Blixel. Blixel, you notice the skeleton points its finger at you and blasts you with Rays of Force for 8 points of damage.
I think he's still sanctuaried.
Well, Adam said he might not be if
Friendly reminder, and I know you're running 40 different things, but yeah.
Yeah, appreciate that reminder. Throw a spell effect roll there, Baird.
Okay. I figured
Thank you.
I figured these are magic missiles, so they don't need.
Okay, so he will not attack Blixel, so then I'm going to do a 1d2, 1 Tavard, 2 Serena.
2 Serena.
Yeah!
8 force damage to Serena.
Oh, too
All right.
bad. I wanted to be a gentleman and him attack me instead.
After that, you notice the skeleton vanishes from sight. Baird.
I'm going after my brother. 10.
Good luck catching him.
0.
All right, 30 to there. I'm going to action dash. Getting familiar with this place. So let's see. Movement, action, dash. I'm going to double action. No. Teleport. No. Misty step. No. Fly. No. Ugh.
Wish spell.
I can't do anything. This game sucks. This guy sucks. I'm taking my character going home.
All
I think
right,
we've all
top
played
of the
with that
round, Blixel.
person before.
Oh yeah, I have.
Yep.
Blixel looks down at Tavern and goes, "That was amazing! You smashed that thing to pieces.
Let's go.
I gotta get out of here." He will do 4 points of lay on hands on himself.
Okay, uses his action.
And then he's going to start running south. And you can only get to here. That's the end of his turn.
All right, down in the one-on-one down here, Vin, you will notice as you move with lightning alacrity to swing around this way, Var definitely seems to be surprised at how quickly you've got here, but he regains his composure quickly, and you notice he does this sort of like jut movement as he tries to fake like he's going one way before he goes another way. I'll need you to give me a wisdom insight check. You can make this publicly. All right, he is able to feint you, making you think he's going one way when he goes a different way. This is his bonus action. He's then going to use his action to try to garrote you. This attack will be at advantage. I will need you to give me a defense roll at disadvantage.
The hell is that?
So think of this as like so he spins around and gets his blade like basically dug into your neck. You will take 7 points of bludgeoning damage. So think of this as him like jabbing the back of the dagger blade or the dagger hilt into your throat here. So this is 7 points of damage. You are now considered to be grappled. You cannot breathe, and you realize that this pressure is going to deal damage to you automatically on his next turn. So with that, that's his bonus action and action. He's then going to move you. Since he's got you grappled now, he can move at half speed. So he's going to basically go 5, 10, 15. That's 30, and that will put you here. And as he does this, you hear him whispering in your ear, "Bet you're not so glad you caught up to me now, huh, boy?" Saline.
We're gonna come out of our hidey hole. 5, 10. Seeing nothing, we're gonna start going down after the brothers, because that seems the more immediate concern. I guess I'll shout out, is everyone okay up there? Before I do that?
We're running out. We're chasing you. We're good.
Okay. So 15, 20, 25, 30 to here. I will action dash. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30. And that's as far as I can get.
Okay.
I have a bonus action. Nothing useful.
Okay, Vin, so start of your turn. Keep in mind you cannot breathe currently.
No worries, Adam. Is he behind me or in front of me to grapple me?
He is behind you.
Perfect. So I've got my torch in one hand, and I'm going to take my dagger and swiftly come behind me and try to stab him in his stomach.
Okay, yep. Yes, that will connect.
All right, sneak attack because of rakish audacity.
Okay, you wound him with that a strike.
Perfect. Now I'm gonna take the dagger and spin it in my hand so it's onto the pommel side, and I'm gonna come into that same spot I just stabbed him, and try to knock him out with just a sheer amount of pain.
Does knock him out mean you're trying to do non-lethal, or you're just stabbing?
Non-lethal.
Non-lethal. Okay. That will miss.
And then bonus action, I'm gonna use my additional attack with the dagger to try again.
Bonus action? What do you mean?
Alright, don't hang on. Oh, that's right. I'm not.
2 daggers.
Yeah. Well, that's right. I'm dual wielding. Can I improvise attack him with the torch? Bonk.
I don't think so, because I think with 2-weapon fighting, they both have to be light weapons, and I'm sure a torch doesn't qualify.
I guess that's valid. All right. He survived his stabbing then.
All right, Serena.
Okay, so Serena's sort of confused as the skeleton. It's like, huh, guess it was afraid of us. All right, starts jogging this way.
Jogging.
Wait up! And she's gonna dash. Where's the Lord, Celine?
They're heading for the exit. Around the corner.
Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. And then I'm going to go ahead and use my action to dash as well.
Okay. Oh, and just to clarify, this torch that's back here, this is the one you interact with Object Vin and picked up on your way, right?
Correct.
All right, getting rid of that.
I can't see, but I'm guessing it's the one that was in that hallway right by the doors with all the sarcophagus and where yeah, that's it.
You got it. Okay, perfect. Got rid of it.
All right, and so whatever's going on with Vin, I don't see that going on, right?
They're very far away, yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, I could also do Dash of the Wind there, but I'm not going to assume anything, so. All right, I'll end my turn there.
Okay, before Baron's turn, with a soft popping sound, this skeleton reappears. As it does so, it spots Blixel there and points its fingers at him. Blixel, you're struck for 6 points of force damage.
Does the sanctuary affect it with a 13?
Double checking, it does not.
All right, can I put a hero point on that?
You could, yeah. Okay, so that will work, which means he'll have to pick a different target.
Is he able to see a different target?
That's what I'm just checking. And yes, Serena is actually within his dark vision range, so it will go towards Serena, 6 points of force damage. Okay, Baron.
All right. I'm busy up here. 5,
Oh,
10.
actually, sorry, one more quick second. Yeah, okay, you're good, Baron. Go.
He ran this way. Follow me. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I see a torch. Is that I got a dash. So then 5, 10, 15. That's half my dash. 5, 10, 15. Ah! There you are, brother! You're in a... Oh, I see.
So as you get to this point, Baron, you notice Vin standing here. Var has essentially got his arm wrapped around Vin's neck with the butt of his dagger right to Vin's throat. You see almost like frantically Vin is kind of like stabbing backwards with his dagger, trying to puncture into Var. And you see Var has this very wicked looking look on his face. It looks like he's just about to perform a coup de grace or something critical like that.
Wow.
And a massive puddle of blood.
Wow.
Because he's bleeding pretty bad too.
Well, I'm going to action surge. Oh.
Wrong character.
Then
Worth a
I'm
try.
not going to do it.
I'd like to tell you.
Where's Gaily Needham? Here we go.
Okay, Blixel.
All right, Buxel's like, enough is enough. We didn't do anything to you, you stupid skeleton. And brandishing Shipwrecker, he'll rush up to this one and swing at it.
All right, let's see it.
And I will use my inspiration on this.
Okay, we'll give you advantage. 14 is the other number. Okay, so go ahead and make your attack. Okay, so if 14 misses, I see that you're adding 3, so on the other side that'd be a 17. 17 does hit.
All right. I just click War Pick, right?
Yes. 3 points of piercing damage. It is wounded as you chip at its bones.
Oh no, it didn't die. I thought the bludgeoning.
Unfortunately, War Pick actually is piercing, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. All right, well, I guess awkwardly, after it doesn't kill him, Blixel just waves at it, and that's the end of my turn.
You see that purplish energy growing as we fade over to the other action scene here. Oh, this could be very, very bad. Okay, so Vin cannot breathe. Baron, you notice now as Var performs this garrote maneuver, which essentially is like him, think of this mostly as like cutting off the airflow. And normally when you hear garrote, this is like used with a string wire, like 2 wooden toggles and string wire, and you basically are just choking somebody's life out. He's essentially doing something similar like that with a choke move combined with the butt of his dagger. So because you're still in the grapple at this point in time, Vin, you automatically take the garrote start of turn damage. So I'm going to post that. That'll be 16 points of bludgeoning damage.
I see that finally, and I'm mad.
So that's not a hit, though. So there was no attack roll there, so that's not a hit.
Okay.
All right, so that's 16 points of damage. Now, in addition to that, while he's doing this, he is once again going to try to feint you, Vin. So I will need another wisdom insight check. Okay, once again you fail, which means when he performs this garrote, he can now also apply his sneak attack. This will be 13 points of sneak attack damage.
Oh my gosh.
That is unfortunately still not a hit.
Oh, I'm waiting for an attack.
All right, so Vin, Baron, you basically notice Vin lose conscious, dagger drops out of his hand, torch clatters to the ground. When this happens, you notice Var lets go of Vin, steps up to here, and closes the door. When he does that, you can hear basically like he's bracing against the door. Okay, Saline.
All right. Well, Saline has no idea that any of that is happening, because she's super far behind. So what we're gonna do? But she did see Blixel turn around, so she is gonna turn around as well. And yeah, I'm not gonna metagame it. Blixel is like super fucked if I don't do something, so I'll spend my last spell slot to magic missile the last guy.
All right, yeah, go ahead and post it.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god, I'm sorry.
Wow, another max damage one, so 15. Yes, indeed, that will destroy that skeleton.
All right, and now we're going back. Now that our back is secured, I'm turning around and I'm running after the boys. So 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. That's as far as I can go because I used my action.
Okay, Vin, 2 GM death save, please. All right, Serena.
So yeah, Serena is just going to keep on trucking. And just dash.
Okay, a move and a dash.
So get to there. And she'll look down at Baron and say, Where is he? Where's the boss?"
I'm going to point. I don't know if I can see it, but I'm pointing to that door, Adam.
Yep, you could do that. Yep, she would see that because you have a torch in hand. Yeah, that works.
Okay, that's the end of her turn.
All right, go ahead and hit your end turn button, and we will move to Tavard.
Sorry, her token wasn't selected.
I'm gonna go ahead and run.
No worries, I'll scoot that turn order for you there, Blixel.
Yeah, it wasn't working for some reason. I'm not sure if it
I'll
was bugged out.
dash.
No worries, we'll see if it crashed. Okay, Tavard moving and dashing.
All right, and seeing his finger still pointing, which door is he pointing at?
I'll do it again. Hold up.
All right, so that's my action and my bonus.
I'll tell you that my brother's down. He's gonna die, and he closed the door. He's probably bracing it.
All right, well that's my turn though. That's all I can do right now. But okay.
All right, Baron.
Okay, so I'm racking my brain on map knowledge, Adam. You got me twisted a little bit. I think I remember.
What? The self-styled cartographer doesn't remember?
That was Gale.
I mean, that's not a room. I think there were two doors, and this is the ledge where the hands were. Don't confirm or not, but I'm going to see if I think I could run around. I don't need to go through that door. 5, 10, 15, 20. But there's a ledge. This got to be where the hands were. All right, Tavard, I'm going around.
Okay.
There's, yes, 20. 25. Come on, one more. Let me see him. 30.
So to make sure we're doing this fair, where you move there, that would be a climb. So if you want to try to do that without using any extra movement to actually go to the stairs first, I would need you to give me an athletics check. If you fail that, you would fall there.
Am I jumping down the stairs?
No. So these stairs here go up. So basically what you just did is you went from here to here, right? Instead of taking the stairs up. So this would be like 10 feet above you. So you could potentially leap up, grab onto the ledge, and pull yourself up. It's certainly doable, but it does require a check. Oh, you couldn't see that line, could you? Let me do that again. These stairs here go up. So when you move to here and then to here, this is where the 10-foot like climb or pull-up would be.
Okay, it's either that or I just go 5 foot to my right.
Yes, because you could have went, instead of like this, you could have went like this and then like that. That would be no check. So you could go here and be done with your movement. Now, I know that doesn't mean a whole lot because you already saw what you saw where you were, but, you know.
No, yeah, I didn't. So I'm going to ready my EB if I see VAR.
Okay.
Use my action to ready my EB when I see VAR. I told Tavard where the door is, and I'm going to end my turn.
Okay, go ahead, and hopefully it's working now. Let me know if you can end your turn. And
go for it. I can't.
It did not work. Okay. All right, so I will go ahead and manually do that. We're top of the next round with Blixel.
Okay, Blixel nervously will start running down the hallway.
Man, talk about a spread out battle here, guys.
And yeah, and he dashes and he just gets to here. That's all I can really do here.
All right, run and a dash. All right. Okay, from around this little bend here, Baron, and probably Tavard, you would hear this as well. You would hear him shout and say, "He's bleeding out my arms. Get away and I'll make sure he lives. Otherwise, I'm killing this motherfucker." Saline.
Well, I don't hear any of that, so Celine is sticking to the plan. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Action dash. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and that's all I can go. Yep, we're good.
Vin, still to GM death save. Okay, we move to Serena. Looks like that is now working, so you should be able to pass your turn there, Vin. Man, the sandbox is having all sorts of trouble tonight. So let me go ahead and just manually do that. Serena.
Yeah, I hit the button, just to clarify.
Yeah, I literally crashed right before you did that. They did a new project called JumpGate, and they're doing all this changes on the mod API, so I have a feeling that's the problem. But yeah, we'll just make do with what we can here. All right, Serena.
Okay. The standard practice now. She's gonna dash. Because she didn't hear that either, right? And she'll rush up
She did not.
and get to right outside the door. And she goes, "Boss, are you in there?"
Okay, Tavard.
All right, so Tavar did hear that earlier call, so he's going to come over here, and I'm going to go ahead and knock on the door, just with the tip of my warhammer, and say, so you say you got someone in there bleeding out, and you'll let them live? Who do you got in there, and why do you want to kill us?
And very quickly in response, he says, "The blonde pretty boy. You guys attacked me. Get back! Get back! Everybody get back!"
We don't have any pretty boys around here. They're pretty ugly. So I don't know.
Blixel hears that.
May not really be our party members.
All right, and if I move 5 there, and if I go diagonal, would I be safe on that ledge to my, what would that be, northwest?
If you went northwest, you're teetering on the edge there.
What's the drop?
It's like 12 feet.
Okay, can I carefully climb down to the one to my northwest now from here?
You can count it as like 15 feet of movement because you're doing this carefully, so it'd be like half speed with the 12-foot drop. Call it 15.
So it's 5, 10. This will be 25, and I can't.
All right, now
move
obviously realize as you're climbing down, you have a torch in one hand, and then your other hand's free.
Yeah, well, I'll throw the torch on the ground if you want to do it that way.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to make sure you understand how much noise you're making and how obvious it is that you're coming this way.
Oh yeah, I'm about ready to make a proclamation.
Okay, so yep, you throw your torch down. It sort of clatters. You can hear almost like movement, maybe, or something like that. Go ahead.
Now, I can't get off the ledge.
Oh, yep, you can't. There you go.
Yeah, there. All right, and then I'll free action pick up my torch, not a problem. But then I'm going to step. I have one more foot of movement. I'm going to go one more. Now say.
So as you get to here, what
Yeah.
you see now is you see Vin lying here, like cradled within Var's body. So Var's got his back up against the door that is closed. He's got Vin in his lap area. So essentially think of this as Vin giving him a whole ton of cover. He's got his dagger, now the blade poked right up against Vin's throat, and he looks like he is on a hair trigger. As soon as he sees you, essentially he's getting ready to take his ready to action, but if you want to shout something, I'll let you.
Yeah, I'm gonna parlay. So I'll say, hold on. Let's not do anything rash. You said something that you'd let him live, and we're listening.
Go ahead and give me a blind check here, Baron. I'm assuming this is like you're trying to persuade him.
This would be a great time to use inspiration.
Yeah, great time for me to use my persuasion. No hero points left, but I do have inspiration, Adam, so let me know.
You want to use your inspiration on this?
I like to wait and see and then say I use it after I fail, right?
Oh, okay, I gotcha. Okay, so as you say this, doesn't seem like he immediately slits Vin's throat, but in response he says, I did tell you not to back away. Back away, you're too close, get back.
I've promise you let him live. Step back. I'll use, I guess, my action to dash 5 feet. I'll even get out of the doorway. 10 feet. And then I'm gonna believe him. I'll say, hold up, I'm in parlay. I'll yell it as loud as I could to, if you guys can hear me down the cavern, I don't know. But I think that'll be my turn now.
Okay, Blixel, top of the next round.
Blixel's scared. He's all by himself. Rushes up 30 feet. Rounds the corner. Is like dashing. Oh, thank the gods. Let's get out of here. I'll just dash up to here.
Alright, moment of truth.
Okay, on Var's turn. Yeah, you can't really see him well. Right,
I
so
did what I was told.
Yep, and he says, keep backing away. He's bleeding out. If I don't help him, back away. I want to hear you getting far away. Go through the hole. Go through the hole. Saline.
What did he say? Go through the
hole. The hole
The,
we
like
crawled
tunnel
the
we,
exit hole?
yeah, like the tunnel we climbed through to get in here.
Well, I mean, I can't really go anywhere. Because
Tavard must have saw me do my movement.
Hearing that, like, he doesn't want us to like be coming towards him. So if I start going around the ledge and that direction, he's gonna get spooked. So I think I'm just gonna move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and sit here in the hallway, out of sight.
Well, we can speak out of turn as well. We can say real quick, okay, we're leaving. You know what?
Yep, you can make brief statements out of turn.
So she'll say, yeah, we won't hurt you anymore. Just let him go.
I love the anymore. That was good.
Well, we did like shoot him like 4 times. So.
You have messed him up pretty bad. You have.
I haven't seen his health bar yet, so I don't know how bad he is, but I would imagine he is not very happy right now. So I'm just gonna sit here so that he does not see me approaching him, because I don't want to spook him into doing something crazy.
Okay, Vin, if you happen to still be making death saves, go ahead and post a death save for me to GM. Okay, and then we will move to Serena's turn.
Okay, Serena sort of looks to the other people as to what to do, because she's ready to bash in the door.
If you do that, he's gonna die.
I'll shake my head and say no.
Fine. And I guess she will move up the stairs, not knowing what to do in this situation if it doesn't involve using strength.
All right, so Tavard's going to say, loud enough for everyone in this general area to hear. All right, he's got one of our ugly friends with him, so we need to start kind of walking away so nobody gets hurt here. Let's go.
Okay, Baron, your turn.
Look, I got to leave, but they don't know which way to go. They got to follow my voice. Over here, we got to crawl up back into the tavern off the cliff where the dead hands were.
Just you.
Just me. You want me to crawl through the hole?
Yeah, you're the dumbass that came over here even after I told you not to, so just you.
I'll step up and I'll say, whisper under my breath, good luck, my friends. Good luck, brother.
All right, so since Baron begins climbing through that way, which remember is very tight, you can't really look behind you. You're crawling on your belly, trying to get through this really narrow area. I don't think we necessarily need to stay in turn order at this point in time. I think it may be faster to do this more like Theater of the Mind. So I guess what I'll first say is, Celine, Serena, Tavard, or Blixel, is there anything that you are trying to do that you think will be determinative before I take us out of turn order?
I'm just going to try to listen in on the door and see if we do need to bash through or anything. But that's it.
Celine has no spell slots left, so she can't pop around in healing words, so she's out of options, so she's just going to have to trust that this guy is true to his word.
Yeah, I mean, Blix will just get up closer until he realizes everyone's just sort of standing here, and then he stops.
Okay, and same with Serena?
Yeah, Serena is just sort of taking up point up top here.
Okay, so I'm gonna theater of the mind this a little bit. I'm gonna take us out of turn order. Basically, how this goes is you're gonna hear the sound of him moving and dragging Vin with him as he goes. Vin, if you still happen to be making death saves, I would like you to post as many as you need to until it's either determined if you live or die. And essentially what he does is once he gets to here, dragging Vin behind him, he starts going into the little opening here and like crawling under. Where Serena's kind of posted there, she would notice he drags Vin into the hole, and he then shouts up to you, Baron, because he can see you a little bit in the distance. He can like see your feet, right? And he shouts like telling you basically, not so fast, slow down. Are you doing everything he tells you to do?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to fast forward this a little bit. Essentially what we end up with is you doing exactly what he tells you to. You end up emerging from the hole, and when you do, he's essentially right behind you. So as you're like kind of scrappling out, right, and he's right behind you, he's like grabbing onto your foot. He basically makes sure he can get up before you can. He's got his blade ready, and he looks towards you and he says, I left him in halfway there. Go get him. He might still be alive. You better hurry. And he's basically trying to force you back into the hole. Are you going to agree to do that, or do you want to go into initiative here?
One EB will do it.
Yeah. Just imagine if he killed your brother and you let him get away right here.
Well, that's how epic backstories are made. Come on.
It is.
That's right.
And he's all alone, right? So this is, no one can sway your mind, Brian.
Do you have any
This is what
spell slots
D&D's
left?
about.
I do have a spell slot, but it's like decelerate. I could hit it now because he's there. But if I go, he's going to do
Well,
that
keep
shit
in
to me
mind,
too.
we're not in
Yeah.
initiative order right now. So, like, he's basically
Yeah.
ready to react. So we would roll initiative. If he beats you, yes, he potentially could take you out in one round.
Yeah, absolutely. I know that.
I don't know if I would risk it, but it's up
Yeah.
to you, buddy.
So I think I'm going to be
I can
concerned of my.
100% tell you, Dylan as a player.
Hey, you're not
We
allowed to
know,
speak
I
because
think-
nobody knows
Yeah,
whether or not
yeah.
your saves were
You guys would
successful.
know that after
Alright.
going into dragon's mouths, what I would do. So
No.
We know what you would do, Dylan.
I think we all know what Baron would do. So I put my hands up, so I'll go get my brother. But hey, Rince needs to talk to you. That's all we're doing. Is just letting you know your boss needs to talk to you.
He glances down to all these spots that he's bleeding at from multiple puncture wounds, psychic scarring in the head, and I got the message.
Oh, okay. I'll nod and I'll go halfway down the tunnel and I will pop my bloodline ability if I can. I intend to at least on my brother.
Okay, so remember, this is like a 5-minute crawl, right? So as
Yep,
you start crawling through, you get in, say, 30 feet or something like that. So you spend however much time, you realize that he has essentially taken off from there, right? So once you're in the hole and you get a little bit, he runs as fast as he can, just GTFO, right? So he takes off, and then we are out of combat now, folks. Those of you who are not Baron, we're on the other side, just kind of waiting here. You're watching. You saw Var pull, or only Serena did, I guess, saw Var pull Vin into the hole, and then obviously you can't really see much then because they're in the hole. But eventually, Baron, yes, you make it back to Vin. And moment of truth, Dylan, tell us whether or not Vin is still alive.
So, I rolled 3 successes and 2 failures. So
Nice.
Down to the wire.
it was close. But I'm alive.
Oh wow.
Can I touch him, Adam, and cure wounds him?
You can. Yes, you crawl back to him. Take about a minute
Oh,
or so
God.
to get back. You hit him with a cure wounds. All right. So he gets that health. I'm going to apply the 1 level of weariness.
I got it. In the
Oh,
red
okay.
circle.
Yep. Yeah. All right. Yeah. My bad. I already applied it, but yeah, I'm so used to doing that. But all
I
right.
got it. You gave us the instructions. I'm a good rule follower. Ask my old teachers.
All right. Excellent. I'll remember that for next time. Okay. So. Yeah, so the two of you are inside of the hole in this tunnel of very cramped quarters. You're basically facing each other because remember he was pulling Vin backwards with him and got him in a little bit, right? And then you were crawling in the other way, Baron. So, one of you will have to back up essentially to open up the
Let
passage.
me. Hey, brother, I look at you and you're like unconscious.
Oh, get
I'm
off
sitting-
me.
No,
You
no,
wanna kiss
no,
me?
Not yet. Not yet. You're unconscious laying there and I'm in the dirt where I found my genie. I'm sitting there thinking, this is where it's going to end up. And I look at you laying there and reach out and touch your hand and say, don't leave me here. Don't. You can't go. Stay with me, brother. I got your back. And I'll reach out and touch your hand and give you 11 points of healing. And you come to consciousness.
No, I don't. I pretend to stay asleep.
Okay.
And he didn't hear a word you just said anyway, so it's like.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
That's the point.
And then
And I'm like, no, I say, get up, you dumb loaf. I just
Yeah.
healed you.
I fart as loud as I can.
So you're alive. Oh my God.
Ugh.
Spitting up dirt. Get back, crawl backwards, get your ass out of there. Or maybe I should pull you forward. You're stuck in a hole.
I crop dusted you, brother.
Oh
What
my
happened?
God. That Vara handed you your ass.
He. I wasn't expecting the throat thing. That's a new move.
Damn, those
Let's
damn
go get our
cold
friends. I'm
press.
gonna scoot back this way.
All right, I'll follow you. Oh my God, you did lay at one. Is that the silent but deadly?
All right, so Var, you slowly back, not Var, Vin, you slowly back up. I think Var is taking your name with that whooping. No, Vin,
Yeah,
you
he
back
got
up.
me.
You get back into the tomb proper. And Baron, if you want to follow, obviously move your token with the teleporter pad, take you back, assuming the
I've
sandbox
seen
didn't crash again.
I think it's
Okay, yeah, let me get you over there. Oh boy, I swear, every time Roll20 starts messing with stuff, you can almost guarantee it's not going to go the way they plan.
I will say once they reappear, books will be like, "All right, are we okay to go?"
He's fine. He's just plain dead.
Oh, thank heaven.
Are the
Come
rest
on
of
in.
you okay?
No, I gotta get out of here.
We're all alive.
That's important. He almost got me, but I'm pretty hard to kill apparently.
Did he get away? Did he escape?
Yeah, but I stabbed him pretty good. He's at least bleeding bad.
Uh, we were supposed to bring him, though. Is Ryland's going to be mad?
Well, where's he going to go in this city? A bloodied man coming from the basement? He's not going to get far.
I don't know. He seems pretty capable. He probably knows people that know people, you know what I mean? All right, I gotta get the heck out of here, though. There's creepy crawlies and undead things, and this is not a place for me.
I'm gonna go pick my dagger back up at him,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna put that in a very special place and not use it again until I stab Var with it. It's going in the boot.
Thank God. I thought you said you were gonna keister it.
Nope, too big.
Prison rule.
Well, oof. We have a couple of problems.
Well, we have one less right now.
How about we talk about this in the tavern?
Yeah, can we get up
I gotta get
through
out
the
of here.
hole again?
All right.
Just that-
So you guys' intent here is to climb through the tunnel and then make your way back and go up to the tavern common room, right?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So you spend the 5 minutes or so climbing through the tunnel. Once you do so, you get to the other side, you make your way through. You don't really notice anything out of the ordinary. However, once you get to the door, you do notice that the door that leads back up to the common room, when you try to open this, it feels like it's stuck. So you have to basically spend some time here to break this free. This is probably another 5 minutes or so. And once you do so, you realize that, yeah, go ahead. Is there something special you want to do?
I said, well, Blixel would just hand Shipwrecker to Serena and say, "Go for it. We got to redeem ourselves one of these times." And just
Okay.
have her smash.
Sure, yep. So she could do that. That'd probably be a little faster than just trying to force it open with your shoulders. Eventually, either way, you're able to do it. Some time elapses, and you realize that the door handle here was essentially tied to make it where you couldn't just pull it open. So it looked like it was a kind of a real quick loop, kind of a knot, but enough to slow you guys down. After all of that, you eventually find yourself weary and wounded, but back in the Yellow Goblet common room. Big exhalation.
All right. And Blixel, I guess, will look for the barkeep's name, or the barkeep, what's her name?
Jadrian.
Jadrian.
You
And
do
try to
indeed
get her
spot
attention.
She is actually sitting at a booth with a gentleman, and you can see her talking, and she's kind of tapping with her index finger down on the table. And it looks like she's looking at some kind of a ledger or something.
And he'll sort of rush up to her and go, I'm sorry to interrupt you, what you're doing but did you see Var come through here?
You see she looks up towards you. Ah, no, now that you say, something came through like a blur. I thought might have been him, but I can't say for sure. Was it him?
It was him. He slipped our grasp, unfortunately.
You
But
see
he
she
got
kind of
the-
looks towards you, sees that you're still somewhat wounded even after this healing, realizes some of you are quite badly hurt, and you see she kind of like gets to her feet and says, "Oh, I did not know that. I thought that she was coming back. It was going to be all like friendly and such. I didn't know that this is going to turn to fisticuffs."
He's a wanted man, Jadrian. We were just acting on orders, and then we came across your spirit things as well. It was a double problem down there.
I see. Well, it was safe to assume this is orders from Ryan's.
Aye.
Then don't say anymore. Don't need to know. Whatever he decides, it's up to him, not for me to say. But one thing I will say, you went down there, was very helpful, but you told me these stories about what you found down below. But tell you, the voices in the helmet, they're still as loud as ever. Not quiet down at all. Is everything down there? It's all good. Is cleaned up and all that, or still something going on down there?
There's definitely stuff going on down there. You got a whole nother subdivision in your basement.
We did not get to explore it all the way, but we did take out a lot of them. We promised you we would help, Jadrian. We'll keep our promise.
Ah, that is good to know. It's hard to find people that are trustworthy these days. But that would be great. We'll make sure everything down there is nice and cleared out. Would hate to have anything coming on up, creepy crawlies and such. Don't want the people here trying to enjoy just a drink as a food to have to deal with any of that nonsense.
We understand that. Speaking of drink and food. Shit, I don't have any money.
I have a question for you, Jadrian. You said the ghosts talk to you. What do they say?
Ah, you ever had that the time when you walk into the bar and it's like you didn't say nothing, you didn't do nothing, you didn't even look at anybody, nobody, and but everybody just doesn't like you. They're just saying things, and it's all mean things, it's all hateful things. It kind of sounds like that all the time.
So the ghosts are like negging you?
Ah, never heard that before, but yeah, that's probably what it is.
I'm sorry to hear that. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with all those weird stuff in the basement. I don't know.
It's hard to say, but yeah, if you plan to head back on down, then well, that's great.
All right. Well, I'm sure you're not as bad as the ghosts say. You seem like a really nice person. All right?
She gives you a smile and a nod. Well, thank you.
All right. I gotta lay down.
Oh, do you all need accommodations? It's still in the middle of the day, but if you need a place to rest, of course I can rent your rooms.
We must check in with Ryan's first. And
Yeah.
then we'll come back for sure, because we will need a place to sleep. It's been a while since we've had bed.
Okay, well, look forward to seeing you back then. I'm just going to go ahead and put the bales over the top of the trapdoor again, make sure nothing comes on up.
Oh.
Good plan. It's a good.
You see, she looks back to the guy that she was sitting, she just motions for him like one moment, and she makes her way behind that half wall.
All right, we gotta get out of here before she sees that we destroyed her trapdoor or whatever. Gather everybody up.
All right, you guys exit from the Yellow Goblet, except for Serena, who says, no, that's nonsense. Ale right here, she's not leaving. Okay, you guys find yourself back in the town proper.
When we come out the front door here, Adam, the streets, are they dirt streets, I imagine?
Yes.
Do we see any traces of blood or anything from Var?
Give me a blind check as you start surveilling the area and see if you can spot anything like that.
Are we still stuck on the map, or do I need to refresh?
You should be on Rendale.
Yeah, city
Yeah,
map.
let me refresh.
It's very token-ish, ain't it? I do like that
If
map.
I can help with that search, I will. I'm proficient in survival.
I think we all took it.
All right, so Vin, you spend a bit of time looking around. After spending about a minute or so, not really finding much, Tavard steps up and starts doing essentially the same thing. You do notice that there is a lot of foot traffic around here, but on a look here, you can make out a few droplets of blood that seem to indicate that him, or at least somebody that's bleeding, but you presume him, made their way essentially right into the heart of the town.
Okay. So we'll take a mental note of that, I suppose. We can't go after him now.
We'll never find him in this city. We have to tell Ryan's what happened.
Maybe he can put his little lackeys on high alert.
Yeah, that's the best course of action. He's got the home field advantage.
It's a big city. We'll find him.
It's a huge city. Let's
Are
go
we
to
telling
Ryan's.
Are we telling
Yeah,
Ryan
let's
what we
go.
found down there?
Yeah, we're gonna.
That would
Well,
probably be a good
I,
idea.
I say we tell him everything. I don't
Yeah.
know why we wouldn't.
Because
say
otherwise, Var is
Hang
gonna
on.
make his way back and say they attacked me for no reason or whatever, and we're gonna have to
No,
say he said, she said.
I don't know why we should tell Rents anything about what's going on down here. Do we forget that we have a weird mission here? We're supposed to both convince the guilds to help us, but also be trepidatious of them. It's odd. We have to be wearisome of what we say and don't say. He needs to know about Var, and the quicker we do it, the better, so we can beat him to any fabrication of story he may lay.
But we're holding the ace in the hand because he doesn't know who we are, and if we gain his trust, he'll be surprised when it's finally revealed, and they'll see how good we've been, and maybe we'll gain the guild's support moving forward.
That's why I said it's a slippery slope, because on the same hand, what if Rents was one of the ones who wanted Father out? You know?
Well, then
Well, he
Then
might
he'll
know
be in-
something, right?
It's not.
I bet.
I don't think we play that hand yet. I mean, we only just got here, and he asked us to track him down. We'll tell him we did. We found him under this tomb-like thing that we didn't get a chance to fully explore, and he slipped our grasp. He almost killed one of us, and he took off into the middle of town, blooded and bruised, but alive.
well, yeah, just
What are we
That's
what
the
are we
truth.
withholding from him then?
yeah. I say what was that, Jordan?
I'm just asking, what are we withholding from him then? Because my
Howmead,
what?
the skeletal creatures, the rites, the death cat.
We just
I mean,
told
he's good.
we just told the bartender about the owner of the tavern about it.
Yeah,
so
once
He
we
was
told him
already
there's a
seen
tomb.
as semi-crazy for hearing voices in her head.
yeah,
right?
no, but now
But
we've
We can't
Then-
we can't just tell him that he was down there hunting rats in the basement. Like, how would he get away from us in that case? We have to tell him about the tomb, and when we tell him about the tomb, he's gonna ask follow-up questions about what was down there.
and yes, because we told the crazy lady, but she's gonna say, well, we confirmed it, and then we didn't tell him. That would be very just. We need to tell him everything.
Yeah.
100%. That's my vote.
I agree with Brian.
And this,
Do-
we're not
do you-
planning on staying here anyway, right? So I mean,
Yeah.
we could tell them whatever, we could tell them everything, and we'll be leaving in a few days anyway.
Do you feel some sort of kinship with Howmead because of the goddess?
It's not kinship in any way. He's not. I told you already. Eloile is not anything to do with necromancy. Whatever he is doing is blasphemy. I do not care if Ryan sends his lackeys down there and sweeps through the tomb for us. That does not bother me in the slightest. I could care less.
All right. Well,
But my problem is you're trusting someone we don't know anything about. I mean,
Well, if we
just
don't
because
tell
he's
him,
a leader, we give him all the information. I mean, the leaders of the guilds are who killed my family to begin with.
right.
this place is like under his house, though, or close to it. You know what I mean?
I understand your concern. We just don't really have any friends in high places yet. I don't think we can afford to play this game right now.
Well,
It's also like this information doesn't really help anything, anyways. We're not saving it from anything. We don't know
No.
anything about the place.
yeah, and I look at it differently. Like, we're not doing it to help him. We're doing it to credit ourselves as what we did, honestly, to him, and
Yeah.
it would lighten our his perspective on us would be better if we were completely truthful, because we already told the lady. She's gonna say that it was confirmed that they said they fought undead things, and he's gonna think that why did they tell me? And we're working up our reputation among the guilds.
And right
Well, we
now it
already
looks
fucked that
like
guy
Var
up.
kicked our ass and left.
Yeah.
I'll trust you all's counsel. That's why I brought you to begin with, right? I mean, I can't make all these decisions to myself, but you must know that we have to be trepidatious of anybody who leads any of these guilds.
100%.
Any of them, at any point, could have more nefarious schemes and plots. I mean, we've been to 2 places already that have already shown they're capable of murdering without second thought, Just remember the South boy. There was no judgment. There was no counsel or nothing. There wasn't an investigation. We told him our suspicions and he drowned him. What happens in here with
Yeah.
someone even more powerful? So
He's
let's
gonna-
just be wary of our words.
He's gonna
That's all
listen
I'm
to
saying.
he's gonna listen to VAR and have us killed in an instant.
Exactly. So we just be wary of how we speak and what we speak about. I don't think we have to, sit here and say we found a tomb of Eloile run by a secret necromancer. I don't think that's the play. I think that's all I'm saying. But I'll trust
But-
your counsel on this. I hear what y'all are saying.
All right, let's do it. And Blixel starts lightly jogging over to Ryan's house, like wincing every other step.
Like a Skyrim jog.
How does he have so much energy after getting his ass whooped?
All right, so you guys exit out of the front door of the Yellow Goblet here and make your way over to Ryan's house. As you get up towards the front door, where you've actually been once before, you notice that there is a man, presumably a man, as he is wearing a helmet that his visor is down. Looks like he's wearing chainmail armor, has a cloak on his back, and is holding onto a spear, and he has a shield, though he's looking almost like a posted sentry here, perhaps, as opposed to anybody in the middle of some kind of immediate activity. But as he sees you guys sort of approaching, you see he kind of notices you and takes more of an alert posture as he looks out in your direction. Yes, what do you want?
We're here to see Rince. Right. Shit, I always mess his name up. He should be expecting us.
Ryan's is speaking with somebody else at the moment. You'll have to wait.
Is there blood trail on the porch, Adam?
Blind check as you look around, see if you spot anything there, Baron. You don't see one.
So, how you doing? How's your day?
You see he kind of hesitates for a moment, and then you hear almost like a click of his tongue. I suppose it's not too bad at the moment, depending on how this interaction goes.
Little tense moment, huh? Like I can almost feel it through the door.
Who was he
Sounds
talking
important.
to?
When 5 people just kind of walk on up, you never know what's going to happen. I'm not at liberty to discuss Ryan's guests.
Was his guest bleeding by chance?
Not that I saw.
Well, you have 4 of us here who are kind of bloodied. Does he have like a parlor room that we could wait in, maybe?
No. Come back in a bit, and then I'm sure he'd be willing to speak with you. Unless you're saying that your information is emergent, then I can try to pass a note on inside. But be aware, if you say it's an emergency and it really isn't, he doesn't look too kindly upon that.
Yeah, it's an emergency, all right?
What's the nature of the emergency?
I've got to go.
I really gotta spook.
There's a time-sensitive matter where if he doesn't act quickly, someone he's looking for is going to be gone.
Who?
He sent us. Is that your information? Right? I mean, come on.
You really want me to walk in and say that mealy-mouthed nonsense of lack of specificity?
All right, it's Var. He's looking for Var.
He asked us to
nods.
retrieve him.
Got it. Hold on to your panties. I'll pass the message in just a moment.
Hey, go on.
All right, we'll wait here.
He eyes you before he opens the door and steps on inside, closing the door behind him. And yeah, he walks on inside. I'm assuming you guys just wait here until he emerges.
Yeah, but I'm gonna put a note to myself and that I need a shirt made that says I'm not with them.
All right, you notice about a minute or so passes by before the door opens, and you see this same armored fellow, and he motions with his hand. Come on in. He said he will meet you now.
Thank you.
All right, and I'm assuming you guys all filter in.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm gonna tap him on his shoulder as we pass. Thank you.
As you all enter, and the last one of you gets in, you see Ryan's coming from across the room, and you notice Wilcox is with him. And you see Wilcox moving kind of slow, and then raises his head, and he sees you guys, and you see this bit of like nervousness on his face. And Ryan points to a chair, and he says, "Wait there, Wilcox. I'll just have to speak with these folks for just a moment, and I'll be right back with you." Well, folks, come on in.
Can I make eye contact with Wilcox and maybe see if I can read something on his face?
By read something, do you mean like his emotional state?
Yeah, is he concerned, upset, or peaceful? Did he wink at me? I want to try to make eye contact.
He looks nervous. I will say that, even without a check.
All right.
So you see Ryan's like holds his hand to ask you to basically enter the main area you've been in before, where there's like a couple different couches and like tables and that sort of thing. Think of this as almost like a sitting room, perhaps. And I'm assuming that you all enter there as well?
Yes, I do.
Yep.
All right. After you all filter in, he closes the door behind him, and then you see he looks towards you. Well, how did it go?
Slipped our grasp.
Well, I suppose he still has his uses then. How exactly did he manage to do that?
Well, he nearly killed me and used me as a hostage to get himself away. We followed his blood trail as far as we could, really, into the middle of the city, and then it got lost in the fray.
He knows that we were sent by you, and I think he might take it personally.
You notice Ryan's kind of grins a bit. Well, of course he knows that. There's no reason why anybody would be trying to grab him unless I okayed it, not in Rendale.
So why is he running?
That is a good question. But if he is guilty of the things that I suspect and that Darren suspects, it would make sense that he would not want to have to face the music, as it were.
Well, you have another problem as well. One you should know about
I
immediately.
love problems. What is this other problem?
I just say I love this guy.
Well, where we had to go to get him turns out to be some kind of subterranean crypt that expands underneath your city here.
Well, how peculiar. What do you make of this subterranean area? Any artifacts or anything of interest down there?
I'll nod to Celine.
Well, Serena has it, but
Or
Celine points to Serena.
Serena gave it.
Serena's not with us.
Drink
So.
beer,
yeah.
Yeah,
we
Serena.
stayed at, we took that plate from Serena. I thought Celine had it. I'm sorry.
I had it to show Wilcox, and then I said I gave it back to her.
Yeah, we found a plate.
We found a plate that your other visitor there confirmed for us was someone original family-wise, heirloom, Ferris or Black, or what was the other one, Wales.
Interesting. So, quite old then. What else? Anything down there? Traps? Any dangers?
Yeah, I would say there was a few. There was, there's these disembodied hands that attacked us. Skeletons, it was undead crap all over the place.
You see he actually like leans back and he taps his fingernail on his front tooth and wow, that is not what I was expecting, but interesting nonetheless. Who knew just under Rendale there was this location with undead? I never would have guessed. This information is of course helpful. Is there anything else you have to report?
Well, we cleared out most of it. And to be honest, the only one who would really be able to tell us about those artifacts are the men you have in that other room. So we were kind of hoping we could take him back down with us and see if he could tell us anything more about it.
You want to take Wilcox down to a dangerous tomb? You realize how old he is? He wouldn't survive such a trip.
We cleared it out. from what we saw at least.
Well, maybe. We didn't see everything. We don't know.
This is why we need his help.
I'm afraid, as the older member of the community, Wilcox is quite invaluable. He knows many things. I cannot risk his life on some trip.
Can we speak to him then? Ask him a few questions before we go back and investigate it fully for you. Or do you want us to chase down Var again?
You see he kind of watches you for a moment as this question kind of hangs in the air, this pregnant pause, as it were, before he looks at you again with purpose. Let me ask you a few questions instead. What is your real purpose in coming here?
We were sent by Darwin.
Yes, I know that part, but is there any deeper reason why you might be here?
Have a few elves with us.
Yep. Half, but yeah. I can't speak for Celine.
Grew up in a hamlet. We've seen maybe 6 miles of distance of radius around it. We're older, experienced. We wanted to get out, make money.
We're making a name for ourselves.
The
You
guilds
see
hold
he
power.
nods slowly, as though he's kind of like absorbing what it is that you're saying. I see. Oh, so the elves in your party want to see the borderline between here and Twerhiaville. Yeah, sure. Tourists, as it were. Build a reputation for yourselves. Okay, interesting. Well, that is good to know. As far as Var is concerned, let me deal with it from here. He will turn up in one way or another, and I will make sure that what needs to be done is done.
What do you
I'd like
think he
that
was
honor.
doing down there?
Hard to say. If he knew about this underground place, maybe he was looking for treasure. I can't imagine he was doing anything out of the goodness of his heart. Nah, that's not how Var operates.
He's not into like that kinky cult stuff, though.
You notice he kind of raises an eyebrow towards you. I don't think I've ever heard of a cult called that before, but maybe you know better cults than what I know. But no, I don't believe Var is culted up, as it were.
All right.
So, do you want us to go back down to your tomb? Finish clearing it out for you?
You see, once again, he pauses for a moment. Well, if you've already done most of the job, then sure, if you're willing to do so. That seems like it would be beneficial for the town.
And we can just keep what we find.
Well, I would like to see whatever it is that you find down there, of course. Maybe there's something of historical relevance or importance, so bring anything that looks interesting my way, and chances are good I'll just wave it on to you.
We can do that. If you want us to go back down there, like I said, we'll have to ask the old man a few questions, as he seems to be the only one who knows anything about it.
No. Leave Wilcox alone.
Sure. Do you have any other old men we can talk to? Who were here 60 years ago? 50 years ago?
Well, I can find somebody else that might be able to help you for sure, but if you have specific questions at this point, I am a gatherer of knowledge. I might be able to aid you in this matter.
Okay. Well, we should tell you about one denizen of your scary crypt that we know for sure by name. We met him, although he did not seem hostile. If you've been here a long time, you probably know him.
I haven't been here as long as Wilcox, of course, nowhere near as long, in fact. What's the gentleman's name?
Howmead, and I'll say it loud enough so it kind of echoes, and maybe Wilcox can hear it.
Okay. You notice Ryan's just kind of gives a shrug. No, the name does not ring a bell. Haven't heard it before.
Neither did we until your friend in the other room told us that same name. Said that he saw him as a boy, and that Helmi did not want the city to construct in this direction. Too close to the elves and the border. He wanted us to extend Rindell towards the mountains. If that's true, then this man should be 120, 130 years old. How can that be?
Well, short of magic, it wouldn't really be possible, but there's a lot of different magical ways that kind of thing can happen. Interesting, but,
That's it.
That's the only thing I have for now, because I'm not familiar with this man, but I'll see what information I can dredge up.
Well, we'll just go wet our whistle and lick our wounds while you do that.
If that is all you have to report, or anything else you wish to ask, allow me to escort you outside then.
Now, Adam, does it look opulent in this house? Does he look like he's rich or living beyond his means, or does it seem like what we would expect?
Blind check, Baron.
And then I want to insight Rents too when he says he wants to escort us out. I'm trying to glean, is he got a trap set for us? Does it seem suspicious? Or is he just trying to make sure we don't bother Wilcox kind of thing?
Okay, go ahead and throw a blind check as well, Vin. So, Baron, you definitely notice that there is some nicer things here, but again, growing up in the hamlet, you probably don't have a really good gauge as far as what opulence really is, right? You don't see like gold crowns and jewels and all that kind of stuff, but you do see like really well carved chairs. You notice the bookcases are made of really good wood, seem like they're really well crafted. You can notice some things that you would consider to be well off, like pretty nice type of stuff, but yeah, nothing like gems, jewels, or anything that would make you think, oh, this guy's dripping with gold or anything.
Copy.
Vin, as far as your question, you're having a hard time reading into his words and his expression. You're not sure what he intended by when he said that.
All right. Anyone have any questions? We ready to go?
I need a drink.
Let's go sleep.
I need lunch, I think.
All right, so Ryans will walk to the door and open it, and you see he pretty much intentionally, you're pretty sure, puts him between Wilcox and your group and sort of has like this host kind of mentality as he has his hand stretched out, like aiming you towards the door. You notice Wilcox is kind of sitting down with his shoulders kind of hunched. He's got this small like old man floppy hat in his hands that he's kind of just like folding with his hands subconsciously. And yeah, Ryans leads you back towards the front door, and assuming nobody wants to do anything else, he will allow you to exit.
Books will just be like, hey, cheer up, all right? It's going to be okay, man.
And you're saying that towards Wilcox?
Yeah.
I'm
Are
already
you giving him bardic inspiration?
I don't have any to give. I would give it to him, but I don't have any to give. So it's a purely regular pep talk.
You notice this almost like startled, like shock movement, as though he wasn't expecting you to talk to him, and he's kind of just like his body jerks like subtly, and then he just kind of like looks your way and then immediately looks down.
And I played music sometimes. If you ever want to listen to it, we're going to be at the Yellow Goblet. Okay. All right. Cheer up, bud.
You notice Ryans gives you kind of this like wry look after that encounter. But yeah, you guys then walk out the door and you hear the door close behind. You notice the armored man there is still there, and he's kind of like on the side just watching you guys as you walk off.
You're gonna kill that old man.
For what? What did he do?
Not what he did, for what he knows.
What does he know?
Enough. Blixo, he knows enough.
Oh,
You guys go back to the goblet. I'm gonna go on a walk.
What you doing, brother? It's got to be
Uh.
like 10 o'clock at night, maybe. I don't know, Adam. 8.
No, it's not quite that late. So
Like noon.
No, it's later than that. It's probably getting closer to like 6, I would say.
Perfect. I love 6 o'clock being the time it is.
No, come on.
If you wander up, just careful, because Var is out there. So
We kind of made an enemy.
Let's go. No,
You don't
come
want to
on.
be alone right now, I don't think.
You're not going to be alone. I'll tell you that. If you think you're going to walk around this strange place by yourself,
not
you got another
walking.
thing coming.
I'm going to one location, and then I'm going to wait there, and then I'll meet back up with you later.
No, don't worry about her. You need to rest up. She's not going to help fix you this maiden you saw last time.
I wish that was where I was going, brother, but no.
Then what is it? What could be drawing you away from your brother? I'm waiting.
Thank you for saving me, brother.
Yes. Let's go. Come on. I'll buy you a drink.
One drink.
Fine. Let's go. Hey, tune up your drum there, Blixel.
I'm already tightening it up. Get ready.
All right, you guys make your way back into the yellow goblet.
Okay, Jadrian, I think we are going to take some rooms.
I have no money.
I've got about 7 gold.
Yeah. I got a little bit, just enough to, and maybe I can like play a little music, and I can make a little cash or coin.
Isn't there a fishing tournament still going on, Adam, or is it over?
It would still be going on, but you know that it's taking place essentially in the morning, so it's like multiple days, and they do this pretty early until basically like sundown. So about now, right about now, or maybe a little bit later, you'd start to see the fishermen coming back in.
Yeah, it should be busy. There's a special event going on. I have 10 gold pieces. I mean, plenty. I could buy us drinks and food. That's what we need right now. Oh, well, is there a waitress around here?
We should also go check on Stinky before we go to bed tonight.
Good point.
Well, I mean,
That would be a good excuse for my
He's a
walk.
bear.
now, I look at Ben and look at him and say, "Yeah, that's a good idea." Staring at you, I know what you're thinking.
No, you don't, brother.
All
Maybe he
right.
does.
He's found a fair maiden and just can't help himself. He's at that age. Like, what? Can we get some drinks around here? What the heck?
I know what that's like, like with Garnica.
Bueno. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, remember that?
Yeah, we all remember. We waited outside.
Yeah, who hooks
Yeah.
up with a strange girl in the dark, stinky cave with acid falling off the ceiling?
You're saying like all that stuff isn't awesome.
That's a great story. I don't know how you can elaborate it and make it any better.
Well, getting down in a cave probably has a good echo.
Well, I don't blame you then, Vin. But I'm gonna take it easy for a little bit, but then I might play a little bit later on.
Adam, can I start a short rest, if that's possible? Just
Sure,
chilling
yeah.
on
So you
table
guys
by the
essentially
ferry.
you're looking for a table, so eventually you find one, and before the evening rush of people comes in, you manage to get seats in an area. You do notice that both Jadrian and then there's also another young woman who's kind of moving about, acting as a waitress, taking orders, bringing out food, and so forth. So as you guys settle into your booth here and get ready to put your food and drink order in, and just the thoughts of the day kind of going through your mind, that is where we'll go ahead and pause, take our 15-minute break, and pick up on the other side, folks.
Dun dun dun.
All right.
See y'all
No
in
one
bed.
died, guys. No one died.
No one died.
Barely.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I gotta sleep.
See you in a few.
Alrighty, folks, we are on the second half of our session here. The team is currently in the yellow goblet. Let's get the team back over there. All right, team. So you guys have just gotten situated here in a booth. And you notice that after about 10 minutes or so of waiting, Jadrian does come on over and inquires as far as what you would like. Just to remind you basically what is on the menu here at the Yellow Goblet. They're offering roasted bear and buckwheat bread. They're doing roasted beef and bitter cheese, boiled eggs and dried mushrooms, and barley porridge seems to be the main dishes.
How long ago was the bear taken?
You see she looks towards you. Oh, it's been about a week now, but of course we keep it nice and cold. It's just fresh for you.
Okay, all right.
I'll have a bear, please.
All right, she jots down like on a little scrap here one portion of the roasted bear and buckwheat bread.
Yep, me too. Plus all around. In fact, could you bring a pitcher?
She nods. Yeah, you be wanting the perry, the stout, the ale, the beer, or are you looking for something sweet, like the mead?
I look at Serena.
She just says yes.
The ale would be fine.
Let's get one of everything.
You see Jadrian kind of looking back and forth as you guys are sort of debating this, and just one of everything. Oh, that's not something we hear very often. Maybe you show me a little bit of the coin purse to make sure we got the funds for all this, huh?
I'll drop a gold piece down.
You see she nods. Oh, okay. All right. Yes. All right. So we got 2 of the bear and a round of everything. Yeah, we can do that for you.
Yeah, I'll take some stew. Do you have stew?
Oh, I'm sure we can make some of that for you. Stu, let's see. Yeah, I'll see what I can do in the back there for you.
Now I'll take some stew too. That sounds good. Good idea, Tavor.
All right.
Not in the
And
mood for bear right now.
Yeah, something about that sits funny to me, unfortunately.
you see her kind of chuckling a little bit as she's jotting all this down. So I think the only one that didn't order was Saline. And Saline, what is it that wets Saline's whistle this evening?
Something light. No bear.
Prosecco.
Some arugula or something.
No dressing.
You see she grins at you and says, "Oh, something light. What, do you want me to go outside and just rip up some grass?"
The lightest thing on the menu, please.
I'll do what I can, lass. I'll see what I can do. All right.
Celine, I'm sure you can have one of everything. The latest thing from that.
All right, and you notice Adrian looking again over you, goes, "All right, let me go put this in." And you see she kind of walks back to the backside there.
Tavard would drop down a gold coin. Not sure what this is all going to cost us, but he'll go ahead and drop a gold.
I'll pull mine
zero
back
money.
then I'll pull mine back and look at you.
Blixel puts down 2 gold. He goes, if you want to be a big shot, you got to act like a big shot. You know what I mean? Sometimes splashy.
Yes, and
I'm
from
not trying
now
to act
on,
like
whenever we do anything for anybody, let's ask for coin. Yes. Well, we're not making any money.
Yeah, that's why I was saying we should keep whatever we get from this underground place. You know what I mean? Sounds like that plate was fancy and worth some money.
Hey, don't worry about it. Blix is going to perform tonight. We got the best seat, well, the second best seat in the house.
Yeah.
We're going to be rich.
No, you don't get it. I've been to some of these places and performed here and there.
Yeah?
You don't make a lot of coin here. They're just fishermen.
Oh.
You might get a few coppers, a few silver, maybe. But, I don't do it for the money. I do it for the love of the entertaining.
Well, there's your conundrum there. And, should be more focused.
Yeah, well, at least for these types of places, don't depend on me, all right, for the money. I'm not going to make that much, but we will endear some people to our cause.
All right, a short while later, maybe 15, 20 minutes or so, as you're noticing the place get busier and busier as more folks kind of wander on in. Many of them do indeed look like fishermen, and you can hear like some jokes, bawdy jokes tossed back and forth as people will walk in, and then the next one walks in. You'll hear the first one that came in say, "Oh, the place all smells now like fish," and then they all just kind of start laughing, and you get the impression that they all kind of give each other a hard time, but the seats get more and more full. The areas eventually, even though you guys are in a booth, there's like people pretty close to you just because of how packed it is. After another 10 minutes or so, all of the food and the drinks are delivered to your table. So based on the one of everything, the total price on all of this is going to be 6 silver. And you've got 2 orders of the roasted bear and buckwheat bread. You've got 2 orders of what looks to be like a chicken stew with bread dumplings. For the something light, Jadrian like puts it in front of you and then almost shrugs, wondering if this qualifies. But she gives you a platter of boiled eggs and dried mushrooms. And then as far as drinks, there's 1, 2, 3. There's basically 4 different pictures here. One has the Perry, one has stout, one has ale, and one has mead. And then she looks at you with a big smile on her face and says, hopefully that will do, That looks pretty good.
That's fine.
Yes.
Looks great. Thank you.
All right, and I heard a lot of people say putting up a gold. So again, 6 silver total. Who's charging that?
I pulled mine off the table as soon as Tavern put his down.
Yeah, I didn't get the last time, so
Blixel will just. Oh, are you paying Bill Tavern?
yeah, I didn't pay anything last time, so he feels he owes the table.
So she will take your gold piece then, Tavern, and she will put 4 silvers back on. And you see she's like hesitantly sliding the 4 back to you and watching you.
Oh, please, keep it. Yeah.
Oh, and then she seems very happy and thinking that maybe you were going to say like keep 1 for yourself. But as you say, keep them all. So, thank you very much. Let me know if you're needing anything else. I'll be around. Just put your hand up. I'll make sure to come right back over.
Do you got any rooms available?
Sure do. Yes, we got some. Place is pretty busy right now, but I'm sure we can muster up some. You don't need like 1 for each of you, though, I hope.
No, we'll be fine with only 1 if that's all you got.
And you see she kind of looks a little bit like with raised eyebrow over towards Celine and Serena and looking at all of you.
I think 2 would be ideal.
2 or 3? At least 3. Oh my god, have you smelled my brother?
When we sleep around a campfire, we're not more than 7 feet from each other. What the hell's the difference?
Well, how many rooms do you have, love? Sorry.
Fresh air is the difference.
You know, she kind of again chuckles under her breath and says, yeah, I know we have like 4 or 5 at the moment right now, but if you're looking for 3, you could definitely do 3.
How much is it per room?
That'd be 4 silver pieces per room per night.
You know what? I got it. Let's get 4 rooms. The brothers can sleep in 1. The girls can sleep in 1. And then I sleep in 1. And then Tavern sleeps in 1 too.
All right, somebody deduct a gold 6 silver if you're agreeing with that plan, and you will get 4 room keys.
Buxel's happy to pay for it, and he tips her actually on top of that as well, and just rounds it over to 2 gold.
Okay, and once again, she seems very happy with this, collecting your money and putting it in her front apron pocket here, and essentially repeats what she said before. Just let her know if you need anything else. She quickly gets like kind of called over, but you do notice as you're like starting to dig into your food and drink, she frequently is kind of looking over just to see if you guys are motioning or needing anything. If you do, she comes over pretty quick to try to give like refills, that sort of thing, or more bread. If not, she just, you could tell she's being very attentive to your table.
And as soon as he pays for it, Baron's going to take a silver piece out. And I don't know if you guys have ever played this. You spin the quarter, try to stop it with your thumbs, and kind of flip it through the table. Yeah, so I start spinning, and I look at my brother and say, "This is for the bed. Best 2 out of 3." And we'll start playing a little game to see who, because that's our thing, right? To see who gets the bed. So a game of quarters is challenged.
Adam, I'm going to intentionally lose on purpose because I know I'm not going to be sleeping in the bed tonight at all. I'm going to do a little sneaky mission, so I already know that. So I'm going to pretend to play and then just make it so my little brother gets a victory finally.
All right, both of you go ahead and throw me a blind check. I'm assuming this is like a sleight of hand against perception thing here to see if he realizes you're like forfeiting on purpose. Wow, Baron, you are so amazed that you won. Great job.
I've never won before. This has been a good day.
And I chuckle and then just drink my stew. Just instead of eating it with a spoon, I just drink it. And will you let us know when an hour passes for the short rest, Adam?
Yep. So I guess I'll throw out there, is there anything in specific anybody wants to do during this time, or just let the hour elapse?
Drink.
I'm just keeping my eyes on the front door.
Yep, yeah, you're definitely seeing people come and go, but I'm assuming when you say that, you're looking for like specific people that you would know is what you want to be alerted to?
Primarily, I don't. I want to keep my eyes open for a hostile situation like us getting surrounded during busy time. You know what I mean?
Okay, yep, gotcha.
I'll try to eavesdrop to some of the other tables, Adam, just because.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and throw a blind check at that, Tavar. With so many people around you, it's really not hard to eavesdrop. This is more or less how well you can piece together a single story so another story doesn't like kind of interrupt the first story. All right, based on that check, you notice that there is, in addition to Jadrian and then another woman that is kind of moving about as a waitress, there is a yet another woman. She has a like braided silver hair and light green eyes, and you can see that there is this sort of like unusual mark on her neck. She's dressed very modestly, but she does have this red cloak that kind of sticks out. And every now and again, you will see like people like getting out of her way. She cleans up, think like broom, sweeping. She cleans, busses tables, that kind of thing. During this meal, though, you do notice like one guy has gotten her to a table and like is actually speaking to her, and they seem to be having a conversation. This is the conversation you overhear, and the sum and substance of it is you overhear this woman say that her family was murdered, and she's trying to discover who it was that carried out the murder of her parents.
Nice.
Wow. Bet you weren't expecting that.
I wasn't expecting to roll well. What are you talking about?
These things never go.
I thought I'd hear something like, hey, you have too much wax in your ears.
How do you know you rolled well?
Thing.
Maybe this is
I
a
got
curse.
info.
Maybe it's a cursed quest.
Does Tavar tell us about this?
Yeah, I'll tell you guys. Nope.
Well, maybe we should talk to her. Could be some money for us, which is kind of what we need. And helping the people.
I hope they have fluffy pillows on the bed. I haven't slept in the bed in a while. What are you guys talking about?
I have a question, Adam. I don't have short rests available to take one, but can I do Song of Rest for other people doing short rest?
Go ahead and post the text. I honestly don't remember. I think it says when you take a short rest, right?
It says revitalize your wound during a short rest.
Yeah, I thought you'd do that. Yeah, it doesn't say that you have to be the one that does it.
I love a good ruling by text.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I'll like pull up the drum and like do like not like loud, but just enough to be like a nice like background music for everybody.
Okay, everybody else, so not Baron, but so Tavern, Vin, Saline, all have a short rest. I don't know if Serena does or not because we can't see her display text, but do the three of you all want to take a short rest?
Sure. Yeah, I'll take one.
I would like one, yes.
All right, so as a reminder, use the restoration rules from our house rules. Pick one of those options. Make sure you just type into the chat what it is that you're taking.
Hey, Adam, did you, when I dropped, did you give me,
I did, yep.
Okay. All right, cool, okay. I mean,
Yes.
cool as in, I'm sad, but cool. I get it.
Yes, and I will rely on all you. I probably will throw out a reminder there for the first few times, and then I'll just rely on you guys to do that.
That was almost exact. But I automatically have full health based on hit dice, so no matter what I roll, but boom, back to full.
All right, don't forget, Song of Rest, you get an extra 1d6 if needed.
Yeah, I didn't really care for your music too much.
Yeah, I hit the brown note when it came around to your side of the table.
You didn't do it. You didn't sing in Dwarvish,
Yeah.
Maybe he's right. Maybe we're not going to get rich tonight.
We should
No.
go talk to that woman. I mean, she needs help with her family. Maybe we can make some money.
All right, flip a coin. You or me?
I have other plans, brother. In fact, I should probably go to those now.
So I win.
Yes, you and take the bed, and I'll be back later.
Hey,
Baron,
Pixel, go talk to that lady over there in the red cape.
a murdered family sounds like a hard one.
Sounds like a lot of baggage.
Yeah. But if you talk to her, just don't take any job willy-nilly, you know what I mean?
Well, I just call her over here. We got an open chair now.
Oh, sure. I think she works here.
Is she still talking to that person, the lady in red?
She is indeed.
Well, it'd be rude just to walk up and start talking to her.
Well, you got this, man. Believe in yourself.
Well, why don't you set the mood? Maybe you
I
could
got-
do a little drumming.
I'm all beat up. I'm sort of playing my song for you guys here, but
We both have confidence issues all of a sudden.
I just, all right. I find it hard to be like, so I heard your parents got murdered, and like, you know what I mean?
I don't think you're supposed to laugh at the end of that.
Oh, well, I just hear it so often in this fantasy setting. So I'm just saying.
She
we
works here, right? So maybe we just wait until it's not so busy, and then we can
Sure.
bring something up.
And I'm gonna before bedtime, Adam, I'm gonna try to do as part of my background by popular demand. I don't care about the free food and lodging. That's fine. I'm happy to pay for it. I just want the sort of the people in the town to like Blixel.
All right, go ahead and throw me a blind check for that. I'd like to just kind of ledge this up against a skill check to see how quickly it takes you to become, famous in this area.
All right, I will spend a hero point on this if possible.
Oh, that's saying you don't have any hero points.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I don't. I was looking
No
at
worries.
Serena's earlier. Okay.
Okay, so after about an hour or so passes by, you guys have had your fill of food and drink, and then you kind of look around, see if there's a place that you can kind of perform. You kind of like stand up, you're getting bumped into. It's difficult to find like a decent place, but eventually, if you notice there's this little stair set near the just to the right of that bar there, you kind of go up there, and even though there are people sitting back there, there's enough room for you to, do some kind of a performance. Are you playing an instrument, or what exactly is it you're doing?
I'm doing bawdy pirate tunes on the hand drum, like depicting swashbuckling battles and stuff that fishermen would like, I guess.
Okay, so as you start, you notice some people seem kind of interested and they're listening, but most of the people, they're just so focused on either their food or their conversations. You get the pretty strong impression that this is like your average performance, right? Nothing that knocks anybody's socks off. Some people are definitely into it, but it's not something that is like making them go crazy or anything.
Okay. I start using prestidigitation as well, throwing it into the act to make sparks and little accompanying musical notes.
All right, and with this, you notice some people are actively like worried, but then they notice the sparks just kind of like flutter out, where like nothing gets set afire or whatever. But you notice there's almost this like sense of apprehension as like, everybody, like every time it happens, they kind of look and they're worried, and then after like the fourth or fifth time, they kind of start calming down. But every time one happens, you definitely notice some people's heads still jerk in that direction, like what's going on, right? But yeah,
Bunch
it
of
seems
jumpy dudes.
flavors
Sketchy
it a bit.
sketch
Looks
Yeah,
like
cast
still
advantage.
got it. I still got it.
Still got it.
All right. So yeah, I mean, it's trying to perform. I don't know what I rolled. Probably not that good. Yeah, and I try to make an impression that I weave some tales of our own heroism into the songs and stuff. But
Is there anything specific that you're trying to like impress upon them that like somebody might remember later down the line?
just our group of adventurers righting the wrongs of the land.
Okay, fair enough.
Celine hides behind the menu or whatever, trying to hide her face.
And afterwards, Bussel will like stride back up to the table. I think that went pretty good.
Yeah, nobody threw up.
Yeah, I saw some head nodding. They, it's a tough crowd, but
Very
I
few
think
people
they
left.
liked
That's
it.
always good.
I do see what you did there. You gave a little nod to the lady in red.
That's
A
right.
group of adventurers. Now we just wait.
That's right. We're gonna right the wrongs. That includes murder.
Yes.
All right. Well, we gotta. There's no promotion like self promotion. That's what my mom always told me. So we gotta get out there and let them know. And he rejoins everyone and just sort of sits back down.
All right. Is there anything else anybody's doing other than waiting for this woman to not be occupied any longer?
Yeah, I want to slip out the back door at him, like when people went or Blixa went off and his performance started. I wanted to kind of use all the confusion to kind of slip out of the tavern. Is there a back door?
There is a back door, sort of like a side door.
Yeah, I'll take that. I'll throw my hood up over with my cloak, and before all of the feigning light of the night kind of goes away, and I want to, as stealthily as possible, make my way to Wilcox's house.
Okay, sure. So you exit out of the Yellow Goblet. I would assume, because I got your message and I thought you were waiting for everybody to be distracted, but I'm assuming your party knows that you left, right? So that you weren't trying to hide that.
No, I said it at the table with Baron. I said, you know what? I'll go and take care of that now. And I
Got it.
stood up, and like they all, I think they all think I'm trying to go hook up with this girl.
Yeah, he's
Fair
going
enough.
after his maiden.
All right. So basically everybody knows that you slipped out. That's like they're aware of that. Yeah, you exit out, make your way out into Rendale proper, and start making your way through the town. It is getting later now, so the sun is set. So it's not pitch black, but it is, very gloomy at this point as the sun is almost fully down. You're making your way through the city or the town. You make your way over to Ferris's Arms and Armor, and nearby where Wilcox's house is at. And you see his house. The door looks to be like it's closed up. You don't see any lights on or any activity.
All right. When I was walking up, are the houses kind of like townhouses where there's like a bunch of them together, or is it like a standalone house with like alleys?
They're standalone house. It's kind of like a mixed bag. So I wouldn't call any of them townhouses, but some of them are small enough and abutted against one another that they're kind of similar to that style. But there's also some that are larger, and there are alleys as well. His is one of the ones that's a bit larger, and there are alleys on either side.
Okay. And then how's the street look around? Is it busy, or is there anybody obviously looking at me?
So you're right across from Ferris's Arms and Armor, and you can see that same individual you spotted before who kind of like mans the outside lectern, who is kind of like the shopkeeper assistant. There are people kind of like looking at some of the Arms and Armor or talking to that guy. So there's people in that direction. You don't notice anybody obviously just staring at you, but you certainly feel like it's possible somebody's looking at you now.
Okay. I'm just going to kind of make a lap around the block at him, and I think based on my memory of how the map looked, I could probably wrap around the backside at another angle from a different street. But I'll keep making, tiny little different loops until I see one that looks accessible and not where I'll be seen a lot. And I'll try to sneak up to the back of his house to see if there's a back door.
Okay, go ahead and throw me a blind check. Okay, yeah, you are able to find that there is a back door. It looks small and looks like it is closed.
I'll try to see if it's locked.
You test the door and it is not locked.
Perfect. I will, just for my own sanity, to make sure I'm not breaking in and he's in there, I'll give the back door a soft knock, something that shouldn't be too noticeable or sharp.
You don't hear anything.
No answer. So I'll slowly and quietly open the door and kind of conceal myself inside.
Okay.
And then my plan is to find a good place to hide inside and wait until Wilcox returns at him, if he does.
Okay, fair enough. So back at the Yellow Goblet, anything else you guys are doing?
Yeah, I'm looking for the.
You cut out for a second.
Oh, I was looking for the lady in red.
Yes, okay. So after about another 20 minutes or so, you notice she kind of like gets up, and it's almost this like insistent, no. You see her holding her hand out, and you hear her finally say, "I have to go back to work." And you see the guy just kind of gives her a nod and like lets her go off as she starts moving about with the broom and continuing to sweep.
Oh, okay. She's busy. Maybe she'll come over here. Maybe make a mess. I'm gonna knock over a quarter of my pint. I'm like, "Oh, Tavar, you've made a big mess over here." I'm hoping to grab her attention.
Yeah, so it's pretty loud, but if you're shouting and like trying to get her attention, you think that probably will work. But if you're waiting for her to just accidentally notice you, it might take a while.
No, I'll make a big fuss and see if she'll come over and try to make.
I would never waste a beer like
Yes,
that. You clumsy
you always
old-
say that.
All right, you will see that she notices you, and she kind of like hangs her head as she comes over, and you can see she like pulls the broom up in her hand as she reaches into this apron and pulls out a couple of thicker cloths, and she says, "Oh, I'll take care of it. Don't worry, just a moment." And you see she gets down, starting to wipe up this spilled ale.
All right, then I'll say, so we're just new in the town. We're a bunch of adventurers looking around. Do you know if anyone has any jobs to do? we're here for another day or two. Maybe a small errand or something like that. We're looking for work.
And you see she looks up as she's still wiping things down. Oh, small jobs. I'm afraid, people say things all the time. What are your skills? Can you repair boats?
Well, if they're made out of wood, but we're looking for something a little more dangerous.
And you see she kind of like stops rubbing for a moment and then says, oh, more dangerous like hunting?
More like righting wrongs. That'll be the last time I'll do this.
Is Blixel here?
Yeah, we're on the
I
table.
hope so.
We heard your family got murdered or something. We're just trying to help. Can we help you with that?
Okay.
You see her
All
eyes
right,
kind of
for it.
open with shock as you say this, and she says, where did you hear that?
We all look at Tavard.
We thought some guy was talking to you about it over there. Sorry, it's really tight in this place. We could hear almost everything around us.
Dwarven
see-
ears, they're pretty good for hearing.
She nods eventually, and you see she says, oh, I thought I was being quiet. Yeah, well, I'm afraid I don't have much in the way of any kind of reward to give, and you said something more dangerous. I assume you're looking for some kind of payment.
Told you.
Well, we were, to be honest, but we're all good-natured people here. It's probably, I don't know. What's the story?
Oh, well, it's kind of a long one, but I can give you the short version. Well, you see, I'm originally from Thosone up north. I don't know if you're familiar with it or not, but, well, we were living in Thosone, and things up there somewhat similar to here with, and you see she kind of looks around it. Well, there's, certain people that you just don't want to upset, and my parents, well, I'm pretty sure they upset the wrong people. Well, you know how that tends to go, and well, they befell a very terrible tragedy. I came home one day after I went into town just to pick up some odds and ends, some staples and things. And when I got back, well, I saw that it was very quiet and outside of the house. We were on a farmhouse, you see. We had like this garden area and rows of plants and things. But when I got back to the house, I could hear just so quiet, and that was unusual because, well, there was always noise. My parents are very loud people. They constantly were talking or, moving chairs, slamming them down. They were never quiet. So this surprised me right away. And when I went in, I saw the worst. Both of them had been stabbed in the back.
What? Just unprovoked? They've no enemies that you know of?
Well, I think that they really made some enemies of someone because there was this man who came around not a few days before all this happened, and, well, he didn't say exactly where he was from. I asked Daddy, but he wouldn't tell me. He said that I didn't need to worry about it. It was nothing I need to really pay too much attention to, but I'm pretty sure he was from one of the guilds, and he wanted to buy our land, and my dad always said, no, we're not going to sell. We're doing just fine here. Family land, it'll pass it down to the next generation. Well, the guilds didn't really like that idea, and I'm pretty sure that they figured if he wasn't going to sell, then they could just, well...
Well, don't you have a stake in the land? I mean, you're old enough.
Well, I do, officially, but forcing these things, usually they require money. You have to go through the legal system and try to get some kind of, the guys that sit up on the bench to say that you're right, and that all costs money.
I see. Well, can I ask you something else? Who's that fella you've been talking to?
Oh, he's come in here a few times before, and to be honest, I was a little bit loose-lipped one of the nights. He kept saying, why don't you join me for drinks? And I kept saying no, but, well, he kept giving me some on the side, and I would drink every now and again, because it's kind of boring work in here. So having a drink every now and again I thought wouldn't kill me. But as I say, then it kind of caused me to be a little bit more freer with my tongue than I would like to be. And, well, I kind of told him the same story I just told you, and he kept saying he was going to help me, but I can tell the only reason he really wants to help me is he thinks that I will, well, be with him or get married to him or something. And, well, frankly, he's not my type. He's so old.
I see. You had a rough go at it, lass. Sorry to hear about your fate.
You see, she nods. Yes, yes, I know. It's trying to get anybody to care is the hardest thing around. And you see, she's got basically all of this mess now wiped up on the floor.
Now, you said something particular about that red cloak. It was just nothing special, but it was just stood out.
It stood out because she's wearing modest garments, so think of this as like real plain linens and that sort of thing. And then she has this red cloak that looks like it's like really finely made. And what's kind of sticks out about it is on her, she's wearing an apron and she's wearing these sort of linen tunic kind of thing. And you can see little smudges and dirt and all that kind of stuff in different areas. But the cloak looks like absolutely pristine, like it's never been touched.
And you said she had a mark on her neck.
She does.
Is that noticeable to us now when she's like at the table?
It is, yeah. Go ahead and give me a blind check if you're trying to scope that out.
And while he's doing that, I'll say, I can't help but notice, right, when you walked in the door, your bright cloak drawn my eye. Must be a family heirloom.
You notice she sort of nods as she kind of puts her hand up on her shoulder, touching onto the cloak. It is, yes. It's believe it or not, it's a magic cloak.
Oh, I'm not surprised. It's finally made. What's it do?
Well, it's always clean, no matter what happens. Like, you could go dive into the water and come out, and it would still look perfectly clean and without any wetness or marks. It just blocks dirt, and nothing gets on it.
Was it from your parents?
She nods. Yes, it was in the family's cupboard area where we put some of the nicer things. Yes.
Well, you're lucky to have it.
She nods. Yes, yes.
I don't know about his check, so I'm just waiting for that.
I have sent him a whisper with that.
Okay, cool.
Is there anything is there a reason why somebody wants your land in particular, or just, people just trying to grab land?
Well, from what Daddy told me is that the competition between the guilds is just really, really tough. You see, they're all fighting one another, and like they all want to be the top dog, and so anytime there's an opening, the one person takes it, and then that knocks the other one down, and it's just it's really like that kind of, they're always fighting against each other and trying to make sure one's more rich than the other. And I think that's all it really was, is they figured if they could scoop up our land was kind of in like an area where two other plots of land that were already owned by the guild, but ours was in the middle. So they had to like ask us permission to go across our land for, water and travel and, carrying things. And well, that was a lot of work because, Daddy always would say, well, if you're crossing my land, you got to pay a bit of a tax. And, well, they didn't like that very much. So you can see.
Challenging, that's for sure. Do you know what kind of guilds, or just moneylenders, or, who was trying to figure out a way to swindle you from you and your family from their land?
Well, here in Cariele, most of the guilds are woodcutting guilds, lumber guilds, but in Thoson, there's more of a variety. And this one in particular, it's a mining guild. And, well, some of the lands to the west of our plot of land, it's got some areas where there are actual mines, and people go there. And then, it's the mining guild. And those people are just, foul-mouthed people. If you've ever been around miners, some of the worst people I've ever seen. They have no manners at all.
Not that I know of anyway. Not the dwarven miners, of course.
And you see she like looks like aghast. Oh, of course not. I am sorry. I didn't mean to cause any offense. Just the miners that I've seen up there, they're very uncouth and messy and dirty and just filthy mouths.
Yeah.
What's your name, love? My name's Baron.
And she smiles and says, I am Sign.
Nice to meet you, Sign.
And I'm showing this image to give you an idea of what she looks like. Keep in mind she's not wearing the elaborate like tiara headpiece at the moment.
How do you spell her name? Oh, there it is. Never mind.
Well, very sorry to hear about your plot in life, and if we ever head up that way, uh, we might be snooping around a little bit and see if we can come up with some information.
You see she gives you a soft smile. She gets up from the ground here and she says, "Oh, that would be great. I'll probably be here unless I've moved on since then, but thank you. Anything, yes, that you might hear, I would be very happy to hear."
I'm gonna grab her arm, just like on top of her forearm, and say, "Are you looking for revenge? Blood? You don't seem the type."
And you see she kind of like shrinks almost into herself a bit. Even if I was, I don't have any way of doing that. So, I mean, I would just like to see justice. That people shouldn't be able to just kill people and take their land.
I hear what you're saying, love, and I'll pat her forearm and let her leave and not feel trapped.
Before she leaves, though, I'm going to say, well, just in case we do head up that way, can you give us, write down some directions to your to the land there and everything? So, if we do take a look, you just mentioned that you may if you're not around anymore. So, best that we know where it's at.
Yeah, yes. Let me go write a little bit down. I'm sure I can get a piece of parchment. Jadrian will let me have it. I'll be right back. Right back.
When I do divine sense, does it look like I'm casting a spell?
I don't believe so. I think it's more or less like your eyes maybe just slightly glow for just a half a second, but I think that's pretty easily to hide.
Okay, so once her back is turned, that's what Blixel's gonna do. And then he just sort of shakes his head and goes, "It's never ending in this place."
Well, at least we learned that the mining guilds are bad. I guess they're all bad, but got a bit more information about the mines up in that fancy town up there. I forgot the name of it already.
I wouldn't trust whatever that person just told you.
Why? You'll see something with your eyes?
Yeah. Something's wrong with her. There's no glow.
Speak plainly, man. We're friends.
I noticed that her neck, you see that she was sort of hiding that little mark there?
I
Looked
wasn't
like
looking at her
teeth
neck.
marks.
Oh.
And then I reached out. Sometimes I'm able to sense things around me. And I sensed her.
Oh my goodness.
So don't go into any back boardroom meetings with her. You might not come out of it.
Say, Lane, you've read about this, right? I touched her arm. Am I gonna turn into one of those?
No, I don't think so. If you're talking about what I think you're talking about. Although I usually read better books than those ones.
I wonder if this is like a setup or something. We should maybe keep an eye on her.
Not to get me the creeps. My goodness, trying to be nice.
And you see eventually she does indeed come back, and she has this small slip of parchment that she kind of holds out and puts across the table. I jotted it down right here. I hope this is good enough. It's hard to describe, but this should give you at least a good idea.
Yep, sounds good. If we head up that direction, we'll be more than glad to take a look for you.
Thank you. That's very, very kind of you. Very, very, very kind. I better get back to cleaning up. I've already taken up too much of a break. Please let me get back to work. But thank you very much.
I wipe my hands on my trousers.
Yeah, and as she turns around again, Books is like, this place, this town, there's undead in the ground, there's undead in the bars. What's going on here?
Any others?
Yeah, I guess if anything else pinged, they probably would have sensed it, probably. But just her.
Oh,
Well, actually, that's not true. But
oh yeah, Serena.
yeah,
Well, it's getting late. I wouldn't mind a level. I mean, have a long rest.
Not quite there yet.
I don't
Ah!
think we could possibly be there yet.
yeah. This town, they're gonna love us, guys and gals. But right now, I really gotta sleep. I got 6 hit points.
And happy to have him.
Yeah, 6 seems like a lot right now.
Yeah, so I suppose I'll just let the night die off. Normally, I'm not going to get drunk, but head up to bed very responsibly and enjoy my huge twin-sized bed.
Blixel's like, if any of you are staying up later or anything like that, maybe keep an eye on that lady and make sure she's not gonna like take one of these fishermen into the back alley and slit their throat. But I'm too tired for it, so it's up to you.
Good night.
Night, sweet dreams. Don't answer any knocks.
Well, you have to invite them in, right?
Oh, is that true?
I don't know. Maybe?
Oh,
In
I
stories
thought you
it
knew
is.
everything.
In the stories it is, but sometimes, fiction embellishes.
You know what, Celine? You're doing what they, I think, call field search. Oh no, field research.
Oh, I don't think I want to be the one to test the theory.
All right. Well, good night.
I hope,
Yeah, I'm
Good
gonna
night. I hope
take
Ben's okay.
I'm gonna take a couple of Advil and my Gatorade and drink it and go to bed.
All right. So if there's nothing else that anybody in the inn wants to do, we will flip back over to Vin. Okay, Vin. Several hours pass by here, probably 4 hours or more, as you're just kind of waiting here. You're getting kind of bored. I imagine your legs are getting kind of tired. It just seems like, wow, what in the world could be keeping him? Why would Ryance want to speak with this guy for so long? And
You
after,
know, like when you're playing hide and seek, it's always when you get that really good spot and you gotta pee. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, yeah. And then when you're in that really good spot and you're still waiting and you start to ask yourself, how much longer should you really wait here? Again, it's very late. It's pitch black. But this is when you start to hear the sound of the front door opening.
I'm just gonna hold at them. I'm not gonna make any movements until they're inside and maybe settled.
Okay, yeah. So you notice that torchlight is thrown into the room. It kind of illuminates it now because otherwise it's pretty dark. And you can hear like quiet steps and shuffling. I'm imagining you're like behind a chair or something like that, right? Where you can't see really well what's going on, but also you should be pretty well hidden. And you can hear again just kind of like some shuffling around. You hear the
Can
sound
I tell I know this is odd, but does it sound like old men shuffling?
Give me a blind check. It'll be pretty hard to distinguish that, I think, but let's see.
You know, they can barely lift their old feet off the ground, kind of shift, shift, shift.
You're
Maybe
not
at
quite
least go up to one
sure.
person or more.
Yeah, it's kind of like echoey here. Maybe you've just been leaning against the wall too long, and your head's a little bit out of it. You can't really pinpoint the
But
number
it's
of
not
people.
like chainmail clanking, right?
No, it's definitely not that. It just sounds like movement.
Yeah, I'll just hold steady. Give it a second. Don't want to play my hand too fast.
All right. Eventually, after like 30 seconds or so, you hear a yawn, a deep yawn. And then you just hear, like, again, some more shuffling, and you hear the sound of an interior door opening and then closing.
Cool. I will make my way to that interior door that I heard opening and closing.
Okay, sure. So you just kind of peek out from behind this chair here. You can see that there is a little lamp that was causing the light. It's been set on the counter and it's kind of just dwindling here. You know, basically has it on the lowest setting and just letting it kind of burn off. You make your way over to that door, and yeah, it is a closed interior door. It looks like a bedroom.
I see. Can I hear anything inside?
You put your ear up against the door, and yeah, you can hear the sound of a bit of like shuffling.
God, I couldn't hear you.
Oh, sorry. You hear the sound of like some shuffling from inside the door.
All right. I assume because it's an interior door, it's not going to be locked, so I'll just go ahead and open it, and I'll try to move quickly. And if it's Wilcox, I'm going to cover his mouth as quick as possible, or he can scream.
Okay, you open the door, and it is indeed Wilcox, and you can see him by this like bed, and he's pulling back the tucked in blankets here and starting to pull them backwards. You are able to move quickly up to him, kind of grab upon him. He is seemingly very surprised as he kind of like shakes his whole body as you've grasped him in your arms.
It went out again for me. I'm sorry. Is it just me, guys?
Adam,
Yeah, I can hear Adam.
Adam
hear-
just locked tokens and said that you had to roll for initiative.
No. So yeah, I can hear him just fine.
Oh, okay. Let me reconnect because for some reason it clicked out right when he said I made it to Wilcox. Can you hear me, Adam?
Yeah, I can hear it. Yeah, try to just disconnect and reconnect. Maybe that'll solve it. All right, we'll see if this is any better. Is this coming in clearly?
Yeah, it sounds better now.
All right, hopefully this stays. If it breaks at any time, just let me know. But yeah, so essentially you opened the interior door. You saw Wilcox. He was pulling the sheets and covers back from a bed. It looks like he's essentially getting ready to go to bed. You quickly move up to him, grasp him, and his whole body kind of shakes as you grasp him in your arms.
And then I'm going to put my finger to my lips like a shh kind of motion and then let him go gently.
Okay, and you see he very slowly and timidly kind of spins, his whole body shaking as he looks, and he sees you. There's only a very little bit of light now coming from that lamp out in the main room, and you see he kind of looks up at you. Yes?
I think you know what I want to ask you about, Wilcox. Are you okay?
Yes, I'm okay.
Did he interrogate you?
Yes, he asked me a lot of questions.
Any of those pertinent to what I told you?
He asked who you all were, and he definitely got eyes on you. He knows where you're going. He knows when you go to the inn and when you go anywhere else. He's having you watched when you're in town. He probably knows you're here. How long have you been here?
I doubt he knows I'm here. It's kind of my best trait, I guess you could say.
Well, that's good. Hopefully you can leave and not be spotted.
Well, that's a risk I'll have to take, considering the information you know about me and my brother and my companions. Did you tell them anything?
I didn't. No. I didn't say a thing. I just said that you were interested in the old days, the history of the town, he was okay with that, but he said it didn't make sense that you just kind of appeared out of nowhere, and he kept asking more and more questions to see if my story would be straight. I think I kept it straight the whole time.
I'm gonna reach to my side at him and pull out my water skin and unscrew the, cork on top and give it to him and be like, you can take a breath. I'm not here to hurt you.
You see, he goes to put it to his mouth, and then he stops, looks at it, looks back at you.
I'll take a sip. Here. See?
And then you see he kind of like slumps. Sorry, living here too long, you have to always guess everything. And you see he takes a bit of a drink too and hands it back to you and with a nod.
What if I told you I know of a safe place with safe people?
Where could such a place be?
It's where I've been for 23 years.
Where is that the nearby that logging camp?
I will only show you, Wilcox, because obviously Ryan's is on to us, and any more information I give you may harm family members of me and my friends. But I can take you there if you'd like me to, because if they're on to us, then they're going to come hard onto you, as 4 hours or so dictates. That was a lot of questions.
He shakes his head no, and then yes, and then kind of like no again. No. I've lived here most of my life, and he told me to help you. Just be nice and answer whatever questions that you asked, and then to let him know what questions you asked. But he didn't hurt me, and I don't think he's going to. But I'm pretty sure he's tracking down exactly where you came from. He said he sent somebody to that lumber camp to find out where you came from before then and see if anybody there knows you. And he's trying to get as much information as he can.
I see. Now, can I ask you a question about him?
Okay.
Has he been here long?
In Rendale?
Yeah.
Yes. 3 or 4 years now?
That's not too long. I'm assuming he was appointed by somebody to be here.
I guess, but they don't really tell us that. It's, sometimes someone shows up, they just say that they're the new leader, and it's not like we got much of a choice.
Well, you will one day. I'll be honest, Wilcox. If you have slipped your tongue and told on us, I won't kill you, but your guilt will. You know that, right?
I promise. I did not say a thing, but I think it's best if you don't come here much. I don't want to risk anything.
We won't come again, which is why I'm here now, and the rest of them are listening to Blixel perform with firecrackers and whatnot, and dancing swords as he does. Look, I won't say this again, but I can show you where we're from, and if you say they sent people to look, well then that means we have to go back.
If I leave, he's gonna know that I'm running scared, and it's almost like dealing with wolves. If they know you're scared, they run right for your throat. No, I have to stay here. I've been here for a long time, and even though I'm not that important, he would think twice before just having me killed. Some people would be upset that I was gone.
Okay. Well, I need to know those people, because they may be our potential allies as well.
No, please, don't get anybody else involved. If you can, leave this place as soon as you can. You don't want to stay here. You don't. If you're, unless just leave.
All right. Can I insight him at this point, Adam, on his truthfulness up to this point? Do I feel like he's given me a good, honest expression of
you can
what
give an
happened?
insight.
I'll check for you.
It's hard to say.
I'm gonna stand up and walk back into the main room, but kind of let my frame take over the door frame from him, leaving him behind. And I'm gonna look over my shoulder and just say, "I trust you, Wilcox, and that doesn't come easy considering the secret that I have. And you should know, my brother and I, and our friends, we're not just doing this for ourselves and what happened to our father, but we're doing it for our people. We don't want to see you hurt. We don't want to see you cowering from wolves. Right? You understand me?
He
I'll
nods.
come back."
I hope you're successful.
And if you know people who can help me on that journey, and you decide to tell me, I'll be appreciative, and I'll listen to your advice about leaving. But you should know, we are not sheep. We are the wolves. We are just bigger than they are, and we're smarter, and more cunning. And overall, we will win. And I'll walk out the back door, throwing my
All
hood up.
right. Yeah, and you can hear him kind of like shaking and taking deep breaths as you exit.
Man, good job, Dylan. That was good. You gave me goosebumps, dude. Inspiration time, yo. We're the big
Actually,
wolves, dude.
In a rare occurrence, I will totally agree with Brian. That is inspiration worthy.
Thank you, guys. These story-driven air moments are always like nerve-wracking. My heart starts beating quick. So Adam, I knowing that, because just me personally, I feel like even though my insight check on this time wasn't good, I feel like my insight check last time was. I feel like overall I really trust this guy, so I'm gonna take his word about me being watched. And when I come out the back door, I'm gonna be very picky about who's got eyes on me. So I'll try to stay in the dark for as long as I can, but obviously I can't see, so I'll move towards light in the direction of the yellow goblet.
Okay,
That makes
so
sense.
yeah, so I guess what I'll ask is, you're trying to see if anybody's watching you. Are you trying to take some kind of like a circuitous route so no one would be able to follow you? Like, give me an idea of how you're getting to the Yellow Goblet.
Yeah, let's do a roundabout. Like instead of going south, like I'll take a right and then kind of, wrap myself around, like maybe go up 5 blocks and then back right, back west 5 blocks and then back down. But the whole time I'll just be making sure that I don't have direct eyes on me. You know what I mean?
Okay, so I'm gonna say, give me 2 blind checks. One is gonna be your ability to like get back there undetected, and the other is gonna be your ability to see if anybody's watching you. Now, like you said, you can't see in the dark, so this one is gonna be at disadvantage to spot watchers.
Okay, fair enough. And I've completely forgotten this the whole time, but I have that talisman that Baron gave me that allows me to have aid when I fail an ability check. So will you let me know on each roll if I do, so I can roll a d4 in
That's
addition?
limited number of uses, right?
It's 2, so I
Yeah.
have 2
Yes.
left. So
I will let you know if you fail. So let's do these in order then. So stealth one first. Go ahead and throw that.
Okay, it's blind check anyways, right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Blind check. Here we go.
You succeeded on that.
And then next check. Ready?
Yep. You have failed on that.
Okay, so for this one, I would like to actually use my inspiration I just got to roll again, and then if I fail again, then I'll use my talisman.
Okay, so since you're using inspiration, do you want me to use the roll on the other side, or do you want to re-roll?
I'll just do a brand new roll.
Okay, brand new roll. Good choice. The other one was terrible. Okay, so this is, again, at disadvantage, so you failed this check.
Okay, and then I'll use the talisman. Oh, I'm
Okay.
still on 2 GM, but you got that. Oh, Baron rolled it also.
Yeah, I have it on my sheet, right? It's kind of
I was
mine.
tracking it on my side too, just in case.
Yeah, I'm going
Okay.
to take his roll just because the text says they can add, so that tells me they're rolling. So I'm going to take Vin's roll.
It's
Okay.
not much worse, bro. It's a 3, so it's not that bad.
Okay, so yeah, you don't spot anybody that's obviously tailing you or watching you.
Perfect. So then I'll slip back in that same side door of the yellow goblet, and I'm assuming this has probably been 5.5 hours, so everybody's probably sleeping.
Yeah, that's what I'm assuming as well.
Perfect. And I will just go up to my bedroom and crash. And obviously, if no one's awake waiting for me, then I'll talk to them. But otherwise, I'll just go to sleep.
All right,
I'm
that's everybody
I'm
else's.
sleeping.
Yeah, I'm assuming everybody's sleeping, but this is your opportunity if you're not for some reason to just call it out. All right, everybody's sleeping. So you guys managed to sleep through the night. I'm going to go ahead and apply a long rest to all. Okay, so morning comes, and let's say it is Tavern that is the first one to wake.
Nice. Of course I'm the first one to wake. Those other ones are lazy people, right?
And as you wake up, Tavern, the one thing you realize is, this like hero life, it's really not for everybody. You don't really feel like a hero. It's almost like you might be the other guys. Vin, go ahead and play your card, please.
I have the other guy's card.
We figured it out.
Whoops, where did that get dropped?
I dropped it in the box.
Oh, I'm on the wrong page. That's why I don't see it. Hang on a sec.
Oh,
Wait a second. That looks more orange card. I don't know if orange counts.
It's burnt sienna.
The other guys. All right, everybody loses 1 unspent hero point. So you just got your long rest, but reduce 1 hero point apiece, please.
And everybody
We've
reset
seen
your
that one
short rest
before, right?
counter.
You have seen that one before, yes. And then just for funsies, Blixel, go ahead and play your card as well.
Okay.
Oh,
This one's called, what? So each of you suffers disadvantage on your next initiative roll within the next hour. All right, you guys ready to go into the tomb?
No, we're going to hang around.
Thinking about a 90-minute breakfast.
it does make sense that we would want Blixel to attune to his
Yes.
thing.
Yeah.
Before we set off. So
And
I think you can do that as part of a long rest. Is that what you wanted to do, Blixel?
Yeah, if it's possible for a long rest, then definitely he would want to attune to it.
All right. As you attune to this item, essentially you hold it in your hands, part of your sleeping or maybe a little bit of rest before you're sleeping. You're holding onto this item. You're trying to connect to it. You're trying to understand it. And you feel this cold chill go down your spine. It's reminiscent of your time with Garnica. You can feel it kind of radiate over you. You almost wonder, oh my goodness, are you going to fall down and not be able to do anything again? Is it going to knock the breath out of you? But instead, it's almost as though this cold embraces you. It suffuses within you. You notice now that the shipwrecker, it actually has this little bit of blue tint. This blue tint is enhanced significantly as you see it, almost as though it is giving off this cold aura. The barnacles that are on it are like a little bit shinier and brittly, and you can see this as having an effect. So what this does now is when you hit with this object, anything you hit will take an extra 1d6 cold damage. If it is an object or a structure, it automatically takes max piercing damage from the weapon instead of you rolling the dice. If you should happen to attack a vehicle, you actually lower its speed by a cumulative 10 feet each time you hit it. That penalty remains for up to a minute. This also gives you access to a special reaction called Drop Anchor. If a creature or effect would move you against your will while you're holding Shipwrecker, you can use the reaction to drop it to the ground, and a magical chain tethers you to the weapon and will not allow you to be moved away from it.
Awesome. So how long does that last? Just one turn?
Correct. Yep. So if you use the Drop Anchor, basically you're good, and then when your turn comes up, that wears off. But of course, you get your reaction back, so you could use it again if you had to.
Oh, okay.
Really
it's just
cool. That's
repeatable.
It is repeatable. Yep. So I've moved all of that text now to the item's description, so you can feel free to read that yourself if you like. And yes, you are now attuned to it. In your character sheet, just put like a parentheses A or something near the Shipwrecker, so we know that that is one of your attuned items.
Okay.
the max damage to structures is cool.
It's almost like it'd be good for opening doors, huh?
Yeah, these
there
mother
you go.
flipping doors. So, before the session ends, Adam, I'd like to say, after we all wake up and kind of gather, I'm going to kind of give them a brief overview of, like, we could just say at a high level of, because they weren't all there for me asking Wilcox those questions. I think the only people that were there were Celine and Baron. So I'll tell Tavard, Blixel, and Serena that Wilcox kind of knows more. Obviously, in a hushed tones. I'm not being loud about it, and then maybe we'll gather in our room or something, and he'll tell them about what happened with Wilcox last night, about how he doesn't know if Wilcox really gave up any information, but he trusts him, and that overall it seems like Ryance really has some, like, he may be on to something himself, and he's trying to connect the dots, and that maybe we should move on before he does connect those dots.
And that we're being followed, and they sent people to the lumber
Logging
person,
camp.
logging
Yeah.
camp, and they might try to find the hamlet, which we want
Yeah.
to try to keep secret.
So, what Vin will levy to the group is, instead of going down into this tomb, we'll go and try to track down those dudes that are going after the hamlet and maybe cut them off.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not keen to helping this guy anymore. I have some good intel.
Yeah, see, I told you he wasn't trustworthy.
No one said we trusted him.
But that's basically what Vin would levy to the group, is that instead of us going back down there, we'll maybe lie to Jadrian, unfortunately, but we'll come back. We'll, like, earmark it for another day, but we'll go pick Stinky up and then roll back towards the logging camp to see if we can cut off those guild members.
And also, I will tell Vin that lady in red was Blixel said that she was like a vampire, and Celine said that only vampires can get you if you let them in. I don't know what that means.
This is a sketchy town.
Yeah. Yeah, this place is this is crazy. Is this what everything's like outside the hamlet?
We have just as much knowledge as you, Blixel. What do you guys feel about that idea?
No, the fact that there's undead above the ground and there's a tomb, I'm sure people knew the tomb was there. I want to get out of here. Like, I want to get Stinky. We did what we said we were going to do.
Do we just skip town? Do you think Ryan's is just going to start trying to find us and chase us after that, or just leave it be?
He may, but at this point, like, what I know right now is that he's trying to gather information, and if he already had that, he would come after us. And then Wilcox said that he's only been here 3 to 4 years, which means that when the coup happened 20 odd years ago, Ryance was probably somewhere else. And if we're correct about his age being around 50 or so, right, then that means he was probably like a young man in the military or in the guild, and then he got moved into a position of power over time, and he probably knows things in Carolinian. This is Dylan thinking, right? And so he's trying to gather the information before he goes to his superiors and tells them. And that's why he's having us watched. So
About you.
Yeah, about our background. And then that's why he sent the people to the logging camp to figure out if he can learn where our background is. And the thing is if he finds Tegan, I mean, she's a hard-nosed woman, sure, but I mean, people start flaying skin, people change their opinion.
And if we go back in that tomb, it just buys more time, and we're kind of trapped, and we could be confronted.
Exactly.
And so, yeah,
That's just my thoughts. I don't know what you guys are thinking. Tavard, Celine, Blixel.
I just don't know about killing these guys that
We
are
don't have
going
to kill them. We just cut them off.
And then what?
Well, I mean,
what does cut them off mean if we don't kill them? We just say, don't do this, and then they listen to us? They're not going to do that.
We don't necessarily know that, but I mean, this is just my thought path, but I mean, if they find out where we're from and then they start sending people to collect hostages that are important to us to get us to come forward and bring us in the air, it makes us susceptible for assassination or situations we don't want to be a part of, getting captured and put in prison, etc. So that's all I'm thinking. I'm just trying to think, chess 3 squares ahead kind of moves.
Yeah.
What I'm thinking too is that we wanted to kind of ingratiate, like gain favor or try to. Well, at least we got to know the guilds, right? And we tried to gain favor, so we went to that logging camp, and then we did this, and it seems like this kind of shit the bed a little bit, and so I don't know where we're at as far as our notoriety. We can trust Wilcox, I think, but like we're
I
trying to
mean,
gain
I did a
power.
whole musical number about our exploits
We're basically
to a
fools.
packed full bar.
He made sure to name drop each one of you and describe what you look
Yeah.
like.
Vladimir gave him the full name.
But-
Once the PR machine is turned on, it's hard getting the toothpaste back in the tube.
No, but to be fair, Blixel, no one was listening to you.
Well,
The
no,
drug people were
know,
really impressed.
sometimes the
Dylan.
ones staring at the ceiling are actually listening the hardest. You'll learn that if you perform long enough.
Dylan, did you get the impression of how long ago Ryan sent these men out?
Well, we've only been in town, what, 3 days, Adam? 2?
Ooh, I would have to check. I want to say, I feel like it's even less than that. It's multiple
We didn't
sessions.
sleep here. Yeah, we didn't sleep here, so this was the first night we slept here.
It's got to be 2 days then. Like one
Yeah.
one day, and this is the second day we're on now. So tomorrow will be day 3, I think.
So you guys today would be the 16th of the month. You guys spent sessions 8, 9, and 10 here, and we're all in a single day. So you guys got here in the morning, and yeah, this is only your second day in Rundale.
Yeah. So then that means that it had to have been within us arriving, and
And
Nah,
he didn't even know us until we showed up on his doorstep, basically.
yeah. So it would be from that moment until we came back from going underneath the goblet. So that was maybe
Yeah.
6 hours.
And
4?
how far was it to the other logging camp?
It's 3 hours, right? Or
Yeah,
40
something like
minutes.
that. 3 or 4.
Okay.
No, was it? Yeah, okay, sorry, I was thinking about that damn tree. Yeah, I think it was 3 hours northwest, so if we go back southwest towards the logging camp, and then it's 3 hours from the logging camp or something along those lines back to the hamlet.
So Rundale to logging camp is right about 12 miles, so about 4 hours moving along the river. Hamlet to logging camp is about 6 miles, so say 2 hours.
I don't think there's any chance we catch them before we get to the logging camp. If we're going down this path, we should probably go directly to the hamlet and like
That's
try
what I'm
to
thinking.
try to like warn Tegan ahead of time that some men are gonna come asking questions, and try to get like the town. I guess the town doesn't really know anything, but she does.
Yeah, maybe she needs a cover story.
Yeah.
Well, we probably need to introduce your families to the story as well, because, I mean, all of you guys would need to have your people protected as well, because if they know us, then they've seen us traveling with you guys.
But
Like,
if they don't know
Rita's brother,
anything, they
Blixel's
can't
mom.
say anything. I think the less people that know about this, the better it seems. It seems like you have a target on your back from what this guy is doing.
I don't think Wilcox revealed any information, which is why Ryan sent out people to get that information.
I mean, he cares enough to send men off doing stuff to find out about you. And like you said, you're not sure who in the guild is pro your family or not.
Mm-hmm.
I think if more of our family in the hamlet, it's going to get out.
I miss Tegan anyway.
We should probably check in with her because we've been gone for like 5 days, and she
Yeah.
was supposed to be like the guiding hand at the start. So we maybe want to fill her in on what we've done so far, and figure
Yeah,
out where we're standing anyway.
We probably should tell the Souths that their, kid Kaylin got murdered, or that's probably something we should do as well. We can talk next session, I suppose, more about whether or not to tell your families about it, but I'm just trying to think, like, blanket, if somebody sends, these guys towards the logging camp, they ask questions. Darwin's not going to, withhold any information because he has no reason to.
Yeah.
And at that point, they either one of two things is going to happen. They're either going to come back to Rendell to tell Ryance, or they're going to go straight to the hamlet to gather more information themselves. And at that point, we have no idea what they would do to gather that information. But it sounds like if we take the story of the lady in the bar with the scar on her neck, even though she may be an evil vampire, her family's plot in between two guild plots and then them murdering her family to take over the plot is kind of a good overview of like what the
What's gonna
guild's
happen?
capable of
Yeah.
doing to get their shit done.
All right, we are a bit over session here, but to summarize, it sounds like you guys are all in agreement that when we pick up next week, you guys are going to head straight for the hamlet. You're going to leave here. You're not going to try to let Jadrian in on the fact that you're not going to clean up what's in the basement. So you're going to kind of do the best you can to kind of slip out and then just exit, go try to find Stinky, and then make a beeline for the hamlet. Is that right?
Yes.
I think so.
100%. Yep.
All right, good
Serena
deal.
nods yes.
So just dropping a couple last minute moments. So as you guys all come down for breakfast in the morning, I will let you know that you see sign there cleaning up, standing in the bright sunlight coming through the windows. You also, just as a quick FYI, this area is, obviously this is the area you guys have been in around. Let me just zoom in here a bit. All right, so just a couple last minute. So obviously this is the area that you guys have been around. Let me get the broadcast on. Boom, there we go. All right, so this here is where you guys have been. Hamlet is here. The logging camp's here. Rendell here, all approximate. And I'm only doing this to let you know that the note that Sign gave you talked about Darlinian up here. Darlinian up in the Thosone area, so that's quite a distance away. So my assumption is this is not something you guys are wanting to do, so just keep this in your back pocket. If this is something you do end up wanting to do, this would obviously be a field trip kind of quest, but let me know ahead of time so I know that you're intending that. Otherwise, I'm assuming that's not something you guys are interested in doing because it's pretty far away.
No, I think that's something we'd be down to do, especially because we want to explore this awesome world that none of us really know much about. But that's
But certainly
me.
not immediately, because we
Yeah.
Yeah, we have bigger responsibilities, and we definitely need Blixel to come up with a few more songs before we make that big of a trip, because we're gonna need good money.
All right,
I'm
good
working
deal.
on it.
So we got
Hey,
your plan. We know. Oh yeah, go ahead, Brian.
Oh, just one more admin thing. Would it break the game if you put little like pin marks on where we've been on the map?
No, so that's here actually. So what I was trying to do, these are your little pin marks of everywhere you went, because this is like the region focused. The zoomed out one, I didn't do that on because that's like the entire like continent. So I'm trying to keep those kind of things on this one. So yeah, I can leave you guys on this one. This is more of like kind of the zoomed in version.
Yeah, that's cool. Can I click on it? Is it a handout? What we're looking at?
No, this is just a map. So you can zoom in or out if you want, but it's not a handout.
No, I love this map here because then it kind of keeps in context for me.
Okay, yeah, so I'll leave you guys here because I know we were used to do the splash screen and then you said put a map. I gave you the bigger map, but we'll just start using this one more focused.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, you're good. It's good. Always good to get the feedback, so.
Are these measurements accurate, Adam?
So you always have to take it with a grain of salt because knowing, like, usually you want to zoom in as much as you can. So that's what I do when I do my measure. And then, knowing exactly where the dot is. So usually when I measure it and then I just call it, I jot that down so that it doesn't change from session to session. So this here is 6 miles, right, from Hamlet to logging camp. And then Rendell to logging camp, I think I quoted you at 14. So it's like 3, 6, 9, 12. Yeah, so it's like closer to 4 hours along the river. So you have 14 and then 6, you can say.
Got it. Thank you.
Sure thing. All right, and then last admin note, I did just look at the EXP, and it was more than I realized. So yes, you guys did technically just hit level 4. So feel free to level up to 4, even though officially the long rest will take another one, but it will just say you got it. The only person who didn't get level 4, unfortunately, is Serena. So yeah, feel free to go ahead and level up, and let me know if you have any questions on your level 4 level up. And then we will pick up again next week with you guys making your way back to the hamlet for a nice homecoming.
Hey, I
Sweet.
just have one request, Noah.
Yeah.
Please don't tell your wifey that I wish she got hit hard today. So,
Let's see if she
So
watches the recording.
I was the one sending her up there, so
yeah, that wasn't very gentleman of me, but I would have gone down and so it was all for the best.
It was the tactically optimal.
It was the tactical version.
yeah,
That's right.
it worked out.
Sounds good, folks. Hey, have a good one. Congrats on level 4.
Night, I'll see y'all next week.
Good night.
Take it
Hey
easy.
guys, good game.